Good evening, good morrow, and good day. I've brought you guys in straight away, just because I can. Hello and welcome to our next session here in the Manylands campaign. I need a spotlight. Here we are.
You forgot what number it was.
It's number 31, but I don't want to go into numbers anymore because we've got...
Yeah, once you hit past 30,
you just ignore numbers. It's just like birthdays. It's just like real life.
Yeah.
Speaking of real life, there's a few real life things that we need to talk about before we start today's stream. So obviously we've been off for a couple of weeks, and I don't know if you've noticed, but quite a few things have happened in the last couple of weeks in the world at large, which has been interesting. It's probably the understatement of the century, but it's trying times, and so as much as anything else, everyone just putting a message out to everyone watching: just stay safe, look after yourselves, look after your community and people around you, especially those most at risk. Do what you can to help everyone out. We'll muck in with this together. We are going to be continuing with the stream nonetheless, but it will have to, according to most recent announcements, take a slightly different form for the near future. So we're going to be, after today's session, we're going to be doing some remote sessions. So it'll be still the same on the channel, no difference to you guys as the viewers, just means that for us, we won't be in the same room as each other anymore. We'll be isolating ourselves in our own places and doing it via webcam, and this may cause problems with some of the players. We're going to be basically doing our best to try and work around it as best as we can to carry on with the campaign that I certainly have enjoyed, and hope you guys all have as well. So with that seriousness out of the way, I've got some much more exciting announcements actually with things on the channel. So first of all, this week is not one but two of our players' birthdays coming up. For Marta, who's not here, it's her birthday coming up, and Marshall, your birthday's coming up as well. I don't know how old you are. I'm not saying how old you are, I don't know.
Once you hit 30, you stop counting.
You stop counting after 30, exactly. So, but in light of both of your special days, we now have on our merch store a couple of items which have been dedicated to your characters. So there is a merch line for Neris, and there is a merch line for Leobrin, which you can check out for yourself. So Neris's one, and you can buy it right now. So Neris's one says, "I could set it on fire," and then has a picture, and then has a flame sort of emblem in the middle. And Leobrin's has an emblem of has the ruff, with some heroes wear ruffs.
Have you warned March about this?
Nope.
Okay,
No,
this is going to be fun.
Meant to be a surprise.
It's definitely a surprise.
Where is our merch link?
Yeah.
Go and have a look. It's on it's on our Twitch page. There's a link to our merch store on Teespring. So just scroll down and you'll see thumbnails of some of them. You can click on there and go straight through. I think you guys are doing it already. Yep, go straight through to our merch store. Support, and it's one way that you can.
Thank you.
Here you go. You can support the channel, but also, you're getting something for what you're putting in. You give a little, you get a little. Who needs charity? So that's one way you can support the channel, is by buying some of this new merch we've got in, as well as our two main lines. That's the party logo and the party and collection. Both of those, or the party ampersand collection, which are still going.
Cool.
Gotta love ampersands. Basically, many happy returns to you, Marshall, and to you, Marta, at home, or wherever you are at this time, probably asleep. And then moving on from that, actually, more stuff to do with the channel. So it's been a little while coming, but as I've had a week off, I've managed to implement more of this stuff. So we now have, I can now announce that we have our subscription perks. If you look on the Twitch page, you'll see all of the list of the 3 different tiers of subscription. They are the Adventurer Bundle, the Hero Bundle, and the Demigod Bundle. And so those are the 3 tiers of subscriptions. Each one has different perks. One of the things that all of them get, you get loyalty badges as subscribers, which, depending on the length of your subscription or how long you've been a subscriber, changes colour. So you go from red to start with for the first month, to green for the second month, blue for the third month, and then for 6 months goes to bronze, 9 months silver, and a year gold. And that's just the logo, but like in the cool kind of stencil version.
Always
in one
believe
colour.
in yours.
Very nice. In addition to that, when you subscribe, you also get emotes You get the first emote at tier 1, second at tier 2, and the third at tier 3. One of those emotes is of yours truly, and one is of one of the other players, and the third one is currently is the logo, but it's going to be changed depending on other things that are going on in the background to do with character portraits. But we'll get to that later on. But you only get those emotes if you're a subscriber. But fortunately, we can. Yes, one of the players. It may change over time, like we implement new ones. But at the moment, we've got one that's I think quite a good one. If I say so myself.
I don't think since session 1 I've ever trusted any of your announcements, because the very first announcement when me and Dan were here was, by the way, there's fate die, and we were like, what? One day you're gonna have to give us a heads up on something.
Well, I thought this would be a little bit of harmless fun, so I didn't.
I'm pretty sure you could make a clip show of me for every announcement, just looking at you going, I don't trust this.
One day we're gonna have to roll fate dice again.
One day we will. Final announcement though, on the subject of subscriptions, just to get you guys an idea and to get the feel of what you get for subscribing. We have a giveaway today on the channel for today only. Got a comment in the chat, and we will be monitoring it throughout the stream. But you can win a month's Adventurer subscription. That's Adventurer level subscription for free. All you got to do is write #Adventurer in the chat, and you'll be entered into the draw. And by the end of the stream, somebody will be gifted the Adventurer subscription with us for free for 1 month.
Oh, shit, that's cool.
There you go. So you get all of the perks, and you'll get that emote as well as everything else. Yes, James, go ahead.
Can I enter?
Of course you can enter. You can enter, yeah.
Sorry, you normally say no.
No, you can enter. I didn't say you could win, but you can enter. That's fine.
You never say yes to me entering.
I'm trying this new thing where I say yes a bit more. No.
No.
No, of course you can enter. Like you enter the other competitions as well. I mean, you might not win, but you can certainly enter. You've got to be in it to win it, right?
Gonna try.
Anyway, so that's unless you guys have any announcements at all about anything going on at the moment in your lives or anything chat-wise.
I spent money on new dice.
Marshall bought new dice.
They're deadly. They are so sharp.
They're like,
oh my god, yes they are.
Gum. They're amazing.
Are they just newly crafted, like straight out of the mold? They're so sharp.
They're handmade by a company. I don't know if we're promoting random companies.
Yeah, go for it.
Dice Gin, as in
Dice
gin, like
Gin.
DJINN. They look like the 80s, I think. They look like Stranger Things season 3 or
I'm
2 or
afraid
whatever it
to
is.
piss you off in the game and be like, oh, can I borrow a dice? And a D4 just stabbed into
They are the
then it won't
sharpest.
come out.
The sharpest. They're so good. They're like, yeah. Anyway,
Well, the only way to dull those sharp edges is to get rolling them.
Bag.
This is a very cool bag. It reflects. It's got lots
Anyway.
of colours. But the only way we're going to break in those dice, hopefully, will be rolling some today. So why don't we jump in with today's last ever live session for a while of Slice and Dice. Here we go.
How long has it been since last you cast your gaze upon them?
I forgot that Theurgy was still there.
If you great, back the Kickstarter.
Please back the Kickstarter for I should have said that actually. That's a
I mean,
really
this
nice
is
reminder that I forgot about. Yes, so 2 weeks ago we played Theurgy here on the channel. Live pre-release. It's now been released on Kickstarter, and you can support it. They've already achieved. I think they've already got past the first master. They may have got past the second one since last I checked. They're doing really well with the Kickstarter, but please show your support for it. It's a great game, and if you're interested and want to know more about the game and what it's like to play, check out our live stream of it. It's now up on our YouTube channel, which is at slice&dice. There's a link to it on our Twitch page. Just scroll down to the bottom of the page, I think, and you should find the YouTube link there. It's where we keep all of our episodes from the campaign so far as well. So that's the place to go. Anyway, as we were talking about last time here on Slice and Dice, so you guys had managed to overcome the odds and had managed to stop the werewolf plot, albeit you didn't manage to stop it from being enacted, but you managed to deal with the consequences, and you managed to get rid of the person responsible, that being an assassin from apparently the Guild of Many Masks from Isk. Their connection to Fang, you don't really know at this time if there is a connection between the two. Assume there must be some connection, but I don't think anything clear has been seen at this time. Anyway, after saving many of the guests from the ball, you were rewarded with an assortment of items and other sort of favours, including lifts back to Hilberg as your ride getting here, being Gant Bronn of House Bronn and his retinue, left before you guys left the night before. Yes, everyone's favourite NPC. So the rest of you headed off. Before that, saying your farewells to your friend and ally Rexland Swordclaw, a member of the Order of the Broken Fang, who now left with his newest charge, almost a replacement for Fluting Look, you might say, with Kajira Ironside, the half-orc barbarian who was attending the ball and had slain the giant boar that was being consumed that evening. So they left in the direction of Delvator at their headquarters. And the rest of you started heading back towards Hilberg, southwest, in carriages. Along the way home, you came across in the road a halfling couple who were under attack by what it transpired were troglodytes, these kind of reptilian humanoids that emit a foul stench from them and seem to almost drip with mucus and other unpleasant materials. On saving the couple, then discovered that they had a son who had been kidnapped, and so you managed. Which they didn't realise. That, I mean, I think a lot of shock had come over them, and in the moment, perhaps they'd forgotten about their child, which is unforgivable. But there we are. Anyway, they soon come to their senses, realise their son is the worst parent indeed, and you follow the trail of the troglodytes back to their lair through following a stream. It goes through some kind of chimenea of some variety, or chimney type setup, but a naturally occurring one, down through a waterfall into a cavern below. And you guys started heading down there and were set upon as you were going down there due to Malar's lantern of revealing a troglodyte that had been sort of camouflaged in the rock face to one side. Thank you, Marshall. That's exactly what they look like. That's a troglodyte there for you. You managed to... you were set upon by these troglodytes. You managed to overcome them, but you also encountered seemingly their boss, because, well, it's the biggest creature there, and only Stefan and Brucon really got the best look at him, because you were up close with him, but basically this very large, almost ogre-sized, sort of 9 feet tall... strong, massive jaw, look kind of like a bipedal toad of some variety, with a very large paunch, huge mouth, and as Seth saw firsthand, very, very sharp rows of teeth, along with these bulbous yellow eyes.
I spent 3 weeks thinking about this guy.
Yeah, and with a 15-foot reach tongue, he managed to not only snag Seth, but managed to consume him temporarily as well, swallowing him whole. Fortunately, due to his sneak attack actions and a very good use of your inspiration, whilst inside it, managed to cause a lot of damage, enough to rupture his stomach a bit, and he just basically expelled you forth from him, is probably the politest way of saying he threw you up.
I'm so glad it was the front end.
You came out, you were not in a good place when you came out, but you were still alive. And no sooner were you out than this frog-like, toad-like being then disappeared before you. Just seemed to disappear into the darkness as if by magic. Just poof, gone. And that is exactly where we're going to pick things up for this evening. So...
Right as Leo gets to the water edge, he sees a Seth jumping into the water, going, just get it off, go.
It's really like gooey and horrible.
So
it's
I'm
covered in
currently
saliva.
in the water, trying to take all of that gunk off, constantly trying to... I'm doing like a dog shake underwater to try and get this stuff off.
Very nice.
And then jumping back onto land, you tell no one where I have been in. No one.
I mean, there's others of us present.
And you tell no one.
Okay.
No one needs to know this.
We shall never talk of this again.
and at this moment, you see sliding down the rope, Fleeting Look appears next to you and says, "Yes, we should tell no one about the fact that you got eaten by some frog thing, right?"
Like deep inside.
No one knows.
Got it.
Ever.
I will tell no one, bestie.
If you ever find someone named No One, this is not a sign to tell them.
I will tell no one.
I think he's got it.
It's hard to tell,
No.
but yeah, he may have got it. If I may interject, and Brucon just kind of comes over because he's with you as well. This thing is still out here somewhere. Perhaps we should consolidate our position before we move on and try and find this thing. We've still got a child to find as well.
Yeah, let's get Malar down first. I'm going to yell out, Malar! Are you okay coming down the rope?
After a moment, you hear, Mr. Surf, I'm a little bit, not entirely sure the rope can sustain my mass, if you pardon the expression.
It could handle fleeting in chainmail, and he's heavy.
Perhaps, I might just see if I can climb down the. There's some handholds I can see along the edges here. I might just see if I try my luck with that.
Perhaps hold on to the rope as well, or tie the rope to yourself.
Mr. Fleeting, Mr. Leoberon, that is an excellent idea. I will of course try that forthwith. And you feel the rope being yanked, and he's trying to tie it up. Yeah, but the rope is actually... Sorry, you see the rope because it's attached to the water wheel. Sorry, not feel it. All right. As he tries to tie the rope around himself, he thinks he's done a good job, and starts making his way down the rope here. Now I need to check. He's trained in athletics, I'm pretty sure. He's not, but he has a plus 3. Okay. Whoa. In stereo. Okay. Well, he rolled a 19, so he gets down. No problem at all. That's 22. He uses the handholds. It takes some time for him to get down to the bottom, but he is there eventually and kind of paddles over to come and join the rest of you.
When he gets there, Mala, I took quite a beating from the thing. Nothing else, I got beat up. Nothing else happened.
Yeah.
Could you spare some healing, please?
Well, Mr. Seth, you don't seem to look entirely fit and able. I'll see if Festia will give its light to me in these darkest of times. And he just grabs onto his holy symbol and channel divinity, and he's going to use his healing ability from that to heal you up to half your hit points.
17.
That's 17 of his 20, okay. And I don't think anyone else is below half. So he'll just use it on you. Go, but remember, you owe me for this, Mr. Seth. No more getting into trouble, okay?
I'm gonna point around. What do you think we're doing?
I suggest that we work as a team and not as just a group of individuals going hither and thither, is all I'm saying.
You were the one stuck at the... No, I'm not going to teach you again.
But just be careful, okay? And he touches you, and he casts Cure Wounds on you.
Oh.
Yeah, at second level.
He gets... Oh, damn.
Because he knows you're not in a good place. So second level
I
is...
was going to ask Fleeting to use his lower hands.
2d8.
But he gets something else from it because of his life thing. He gets more add-ons.
Yeah, he gets a plus 4, but no, there's a
he gets...
It's maximum, isn't it? But that's for people below...
Whenever you use a spell at first level higher to restore hit points to a creature, the creature gains additional hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level.
Maybe
so
do it first level then. If you're going to get...
So I'm going to get an extra 3 from the healing.
If it's first level.
If it's first level, I get an extra 3.
And if it's second level, it's 4 points extra.
Yeah, so just first level will probably be fine.
3 plus 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, 9, 10,
well,
11.
first level... I'm going to say he's
the
going to do a
average is
second
gonna
level.
get 11.
I'd say do it first because Fleeting's got lots of stuff.
He's still getting 7. He gets plus 7 to whatever.
Yeah, so that means you get 11.
Okay.
11 back.
So
And
I'll
as
take
a
it.
and yeah, no. In fairness, I said I'd do it at second, so I'm gonna have to honour that and do it at second, because otherwise you would have had 5. it wasn't very good rolling. But anyway, you get those hit
What-
points.
oh,
No,
would've
it
been
would have
8.
been
Sorry,
Because that stuff.
7, 8, 9. It would have been 9.
we rolled 2 on both dice. So anyway,
Yeah, the first one would have been first level would have been 9 HP gained.
and second level would have been.
11.
10, 11.
So you got 11.
12.
Yeah,
What did you roll?
I rolled 2 2s.
Oh, okay.
So you
got 12 back.
you got 12
12.
back. Yeah, it's slightly better than.
Cool.
Slightly better, but still. Anyway, you've got some healing back.
Yeah.
He's
Yay.
being nice to you,
Heal boys.
which is unlike
Cool.
Malar. He's normally quite
Now,
distrustful of you.
I feel
but-
semi-bad for this because we're the only 2 here. Seb's gonna be like, cool. I don't want to go at the front anymore. I've been turned to stone by a basilisk, and Fleeting has rubbed my ass with anti-petrification thing. You were there.
He leans in and goes, "You're welcome."
I have been paralyzed by spiders, eaten by frog things. I'm staying back for a little bit because I've been stabbed in the chest with flying daggers. I'm just gonna stay back for a bit.
Oh, I always thought that you just liked being in the front. I just assumed that was your job.
Yeah,
Seemed like a very brave person.
yeah, fuck that.
Okay.
I'm
I feel bad because the people that I was always going to say this because I've now been swallowed by something
Yeah.
in addition to all the other shit.
Yeah.
So I feel bad that the people that aren't here, it's like, hey, your characters are the front line now.
I'm always better to be slightly behind the front because I mean, if
Basically, I'm
anything
sticking
bad
next
should
to
happen to
Leo.
me,
I think.
I can't help the rest of you. So
So I think marching.
I can go
there's-
up the front. What?
Really?
We've killed the things, right?
Killed some of them. One of them just teleported.
Well,
It's still here.
yeah,
That is
there's
that is
some
an
dead
interesting
troglodytes
point.
around.
I will detect magic.
Okay.
See
Alright.
if we can see this.
So it's in 30 feet around you.
Yes.
Detect magic. Up to a minute in concentration. Okay.
Or up to forever because me.
Oh, because you can just keep spamming it. That's true. But in your first use of it, as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be anything magical
It's not
coming from you. Coming around you. Sorry, in your area. There's nothing that you can detect in this area. But this does give you a chance to kind of look around the area, and so you have the watermill, which is, I mean, given dwarven buildings being a lot of them subterranean, this isn't entirely unusual to have a watermill in place here. This looks like I tell you what, make a history check for me.
Okie dokie. I was also,
This
Dwarven-
looks like
Dwarven stonework.
yes.
Would Brucon get
would
advantage?
get yes, he would. Yes.
should we roll?
He
for
would
Brocon?
get double his proficiency bonus. I
Yes.
think out of
Should
it.
we roll
roll
for
for it?
Brocon instead?
You can roll for him if you like. So you can do it anyway, Leo Bryn, as you're looking
Oh, sure.
around.
I'll do me.
And
I rolled a 13 for Brucon.
great.
Oh.
So
13, 14,
I'll just bring up his sheet.
16. I've got a 16.
you got a 16. Okay. So given what you can tell, and Brucon would have got even better than that. So from what you guys can tell, that this looks like it was some kind of manufacturing operation. It looks like perhaps you would hazard a guess.
One more than me.
Given that, between the two of you, you deduce that this looks like there would be some kind of iron or steel work, some kind of metal work, because the setup of this building, the watermill, with this very large chimney, looks like it could capacitate, say, a forge. Seems to be, and it would make sense with the chimney kind of that you guys came down from as well, that the smoke could then rise that way as well. But also you're seeing around you the rest of this cavern, other than the support sort of struts and beams and so on, seems to be fairly dilapidated. There's not a lot left at this point, just the corridor heading further down, which
So
goes
it's
beyond your dark
only
vision.
one corridor.
Yeah,
from here.
and it seems to go straight ahead, and actually, given your position, you can see that it then kind of curves off to the left.
Cool.
It's kind of a sharp, angular left, actually.
Now,
I think
this creature, I can't remember, did we identify it properly beforehand?
No, it's not anything you guys had seen before.
Okay.
You guys got a good look at what I described before, a toad-like,
Yes.
ogre-sized being.
Is this something we can roll checks on?
I'll tell you what, with, given your background
Is it
in
something to do with the
Manylands,
Fae?
yes, you can make a history check. It may have gone through the Fae.
May not.
No.
Well, I'll find out because that was a 22.
22.
Maybe it's not.
Okay, with a 22, from what you witnessed, because you weren't in the thick of it, but from what you've then gathered from Seth in particular, this doesn't sound like a being you've ever come across in day-to-day life. It doesn't sound like something. It sounds more like something you'd find in a fairy tale or in warnings from those kind of cautionary tales you were told as a lad to stop you getting into trouble and messing with the Fae and going gallivanting off in the Fae wild. Like if you don't do that, then creatures like these will come and attack you and abduct you, or perhaps even come under your bed and jump out and scare you in the night. Those kind of things in your tree homes. Even the trees were not safe from such beings. But that's all you can glean from at this time, because you didn't really get a good look at it either, so you're using second-hand information. So, yeah, that's as much as you can get at this time.
He's the boogeyman of frogs.
Essentially.
The froggy man.
Froggy man. Oh, God.
Froggy.
That's good. Okay, yep.
We're carrying heading down the cavern. We're marching on. We're going to have Fleeting in the front. He's got Mars in without dark vision. So Fleeting, Brucon, Malar with his lantern revealing so he can see. Me and Leo follow the rear.
I see. The two who are actually here in the back.
I said that at the start. I feel bad, but.
Interesting. Okay.
But don't push at least to the middle.
Interestingly,
Seth stays behind.
You start heading down.
For the back. Like,
you can try and stealth. Sure.
I'm gonna roll natural 1. You're gonna see me rolling holy side to side. That is a 9 plus my stealth.
Got to be quite good.
9. It's only a 20.
Rogues.
So you start stealthing, and actually, as you kind of move off to one side, trying to keep in the shadows, you notice that Fleeting Look comes and stands next to Leoben. He kind of looks around for a minute, and he says to you, "Where did Seth go?"
I think he was being rather sensitive about his experience.
Well, he looked a bit hurt, so I thought I'd sit next to him, make sure he's okay.
And damp.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Yeah. So this means that now we've got Brucon and Malar at the front, and you three at the back. Okay.
Still staying quiet to the shadows.
And you start stealthing up, I guess, slightly behind the rest, as you start heading down the next bit.
Get my crossbow out?
Of course. Yep. And you start equipping the crossbow.
I've basically got that to hand. It's a two-handed crossbow.
Yep.
But I basically got that out rather than.
You got the light crossbow, right? Because I don't think you can use the heavy crossbow, being a rogue.
No, but I think it is still two-handed.
Yeah, no, it's still two-handed. Yeah, it's only the hand crossbow with one hand.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's a light one.
Yeah, it's a light one.
Cool. As you equip that and you just load up a bolt, ready to go, you hear further down the cavern, you hear,
sounds like the child.
Start to double time.
Okay.
Except Brucon, he's not going to double time. He's going to
He's going to jog.
He's going to quarter time because he'll get too far ahead.
I think he's not activated the boots at this time because
he's still
horrendously
horrendously fast.
He is a quick boy. Anyway, just going to get that out of the way.
For Brucon, he's just always kung fu running.
Have you had any updates from Bart actually? Because when he's going to be here, because it's already quite.
We've had a sad DK crying that he's not here.
Bless.
And happy that he's healing.
I'm happy also for this. So let's just bring you guys over here.
Where are we entering from here?
You enter down this bit here. So to your as you go around the corner, you can see that this passageway originally went in both left and right, but it seems to have collapsed on one side, and so the only logical way forward is into this next chamber.
He's also fine to be at the front lines.
He does have the highest
He
armor.
wrote that. There were real words. He
Oh,
agreed.
he does
to
have
them.
a
Malor's got a
highest
high
armor
armor
class.
class, so
Yeah.
that's cool if he wants to be near the front. Also because he is literally the only front line other than
Thank you, boy.
fleeting, and he's probably better at it actually currently because of his high AC. Anyway, so on entering, you can now see that there are no torches, but so Malar he's got light, right?
He's got his lantern of revealing.
He's got his lantern of revealing,
I can't
and his
range
shield.
for it.
That's all he's got: shield and a lantern of revealing at this time.
I've had an idea.
Go ahead.
I've seen these troglodytes reasonably close up.
Yeah.
I'm going to make myself look like one.
Ooh, okay, boy. Yeah, disguise self. Go for it.
Yeah, yo. Disguise self.
Featuring a good.
Have
Pulls
you
out.
heard any of them speak? Because you can mimic voices with your thing, can't you?
I need to have listened to them chat. You've been inspecting my equipment without me knowing.
No, you said it.
I did not.
I definitely I've said something about it though. To be fair, I think it was a few weeks ago. It's a good memory.
No, you said, "Shall I describe it?" And I went, "No, it's fine. I'll do it."
Oh.
And all I said was about disguise self.
Oh,
Naughty.
okay. Well,
Someone show it.
well. Anyway, that as it may be, so far you haven't had long enough
I need to
hear them speak.
have a minute conversation with them.
Exactly, which has not happened as yet.
Yeah.
What you do see is right at the end of this room, just on the edge of your dark vision for all of you except Malar, sitting in a throne. It's the same kind of bug-eyed being, but this throne, not a regular throne. This one entirely made of bones. Now that sounds like Bart, so just going to take a quick break as we get him in. We'll be back very shortly.
Bart comes back.
Excellent timing. Okay, so we're back. So welcome, Bart. Thank you for
We
coming.
didn't put you in the front line now.
Behold.
Back.
Brucon is here. So you guys basically picked up exactly where you were last time.
Yeah, a little debrief after the mini combat from before.
Exactly. Healed up Seth and kind of assessed the situation a bit before you heard screams coming from down the end, or one scream of one small child, it seemed, coming from further in. And so you guys continue down the passageway, and you see before you a very large room. Now this does look like dwarven in nature, in its original use anyway. It seems to have long been abandoned. You gather from I'd say for Brucon, you're kind of more susceptible and noticeable for everything, all of these things. Heightened awareness of what's around you, given its dwarven ancestry. You're seeing a lot more.
Got an innate knowledge of what dwarvy stuff is like.
You live and breathe the dwarf life.
You sort of go.
He's walking in. He's like, this is a terrifying skeleton chair, but lovely masonry.
Exactly.
Much dwarf.
There's you detect like broken pickaxe heads and things like that. You notice these things as you go by. It seems to be this part of once part of a mining operation, and it seems ahead of you was some kind of some kind of sort of common room of some variety. You can see there are many broken tables and chairs upturned, sort of.
You're using that word a lot, and it's just making me think of Brucon.
Just
anyway.
Piled up.
Yep.
Into all assorted piles, and at the very end, sitting on a large throne made entirely of bones, is this
not just partially, not a mere 95% bones, but pure 100% concentrated bone.
like you know, the throne in Game of Thrones was made like entirely of swords.
Game of Bones.
Behold the bone
Game
throne.
of Bones. This is the bone throne. Funnily enough, I called this little adventure the Throne of Bones. So there we go. Puns, we've got them. Anyway, got to love some rhyming. Anyway.
Yes.
Excellent. So you see this bug-eyed,
This was quite pointless, but never mind.
very large bipedal toad-like being. It seems to be from before, the same one. Seems to be licking its lips, a very extravagant tongue.
Yeah.
And then it clears one.
When a frogman licks his lips, that's a whole lot of licking.
That's a lot of licking.
A lot of internal injuries he's trying to heal from.
And you see the tongue comes out and just licks one of his eyelids. Then both eyes turn on to you guys entering.
They do that. That's good research there. Frogs lick their own eyes.
You gotta kiss a few frogs, my friend. You gotta kiss a few frogs.
I don't think you do.
I think we're playing different games.
Yes.
Mind games. Anyway.
Is there anyone else in the throne room that we can see?
It seems to be just them as far as just that one as far as you can see.
How tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling in here is about 10 feet high.
Oh.
This guy is about 8 feet. So with the throne as well, he's near the ceiling.
Has he clocked us?
He's got you. He's looking directly at you.
Okay, but not immediately going summon the Rancor or anything like that.
Not yet. No.
It's just okay. Good old fashioned stare off. And again, with frog people, that's the real deal. Cool. Can I make a sort of perception check just to see if there's any concealed beasties or anything that
Yes.
might escape a brief scan, but might possibly show up on a more.
Yes, of course you can. Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Brucon's perception is so good. No, it's 9.
9. What you do notice as you continue down the passageway is some of those bits of debris that you notice sort of pushed to the sides. There are fragments of bone. It seems that there, and it seems to be a trail leading straight towards the throne. Just bits and bobs.
Do we see who yelled "Help me"?
No. But you see it licking its lips.
I'm gonna say to the guys in the back, like, if we don't find whatever yelled "Help me," don't stab the frog's stomach.
I'll raise my staff, which I'm guessing, which I've disguised as a spear. I go, I got them!
He looks like a troglodyte.
Right, I see. Right.
Key information.
Yeah,
Caught them!
That's an extremely helpful.
I don't have a troglodyte voice though.
No.
This is like
Jeffrey,
lolls to one
well-spoken
side,
troglodyte.
seeing a troglodyte amongst the ranks there, it just blinks at you.
Got them all! Can all go about our business.
Lick your eyebrows. Make him think you're one of them.
I don't think they speak English, Leo. Common English.
Well,
Common English.
It's most rare English.
at least they're confused.
Now Throw the spear.
In that moment,
Attack
you
my
see
mouth. Now, go!
disappears from there.
Shit.
Reappears. There.
Oh, great.
It's got a dimensional hop.
Oh no!
Yeah, you've
There.
got this.
Reappears there.
Yeah. Excellent.
It can hop between the
His
worlds.
movement is 5 foot shorter than I thought it was going to be. We've got him. Cool.
Damn hills. Everyone roll initiative, please.
Yeah.
Here we go, boys.
For fleeting.
Oh my god!
Fleeting's on a 12.
Fleeting's on. Okay,
What's happening?
good. I'll
Big
review
numbers?
that in a minute.
Yeah.
I rolled a good.
I rolled a good.
A good.
I rolled a good on initiative.
An entire good.
Yes, one whole good.
I did not.
Unprecedented levels of good rolls.
Speaking of good, I should say, well, now that Bart's here, because you may have missed the beginning of the stream, but we had some new stuff appearing on the stream. So, in celebration of 2 of our players' birthdays this week, there's now on the merch store a T-shirt for with Neris in mind, and there's a T-shirt with Leobrin in mind. And you can check them out on our merch store on Teespring.
Is it also a martial birthday?
It is a martial birthday
In a few days.
2 days. 2 days.
I don't want to say
Happy
exactly.
martial birthday when you've
Thank you.
revised what day it is.
Yeah. I was sitting there and the Jack introduced this and I was like, oh, we're gonna get bonus XP. No,
No.
merch. But merch is cool.
Merch is good. Shiny,
But
shiny.
you got a birthday frog.
Eventually, I'll
Well,
order one
that-
for
that
you as a
interlude-
surprise for your birthday, but
That
it did not
interlude is
happen
over. Check out
so
the
far
merch.
because reasons.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. So and also subscriptions are now. We've now got what we've listed. What our perks for subscribing to the channel are, which you can list. You can view them at your leisure on our Twitch page. And today's giveaway, got to write hashtag adventurer in the chat, and one lucky person will get the adventurer subscription. That's tier 1 subscription for a month for free. Anyway, as we were. So in terms of initiative,
That is damn shiny.
did anyone get
That's real nice.
20 or above? Anyone?
Yes.
26.
I had a feeling Seth would be up there somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Anyone else above 20?
I also rolled an 18, which gives me a score of 22.
22. There you go. Very nice. It's all going to plan so far. Okay.
oh, we should roll for our boys.
You should roll for the boys. Have you?
We've rolled for everyone.
I didn't come out.
I roll for Malar.
Ah.
I roll for Malar. What's his bonus?
It is
Minus one,
I
probably.
think.
0.
0.
Well, is he
Everyone
also...
rolls 18 today.
No, and me.
18 as well for Malar.
No.
18 for Malar. Great. I think that was going to put Malar
Yep.
third.
I'll steer.
The Oberon is going to be low initiative because he was pretending to be a troglodyte and got distracted.
Yeah, you can sort out between you guys who wants to pilot Malar. So it's fine either way.
I have recently played Cleric.
12
Cleric
for
Hall, so-
fleeting.
yep.
Let me just double check one
Go for the
thing.
thing.
one
I will shut down his sheet.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
If you've got Malar, I've got his spell list.
D&D Beyond will...
Yes,
Joy.
we've added
He's-
them onto it.
Oh,
Fleeting look.
I think we added all of them.
yeah. When you get down to 7, let me know. Thanks.
Yes, we've added all his spells onto that.
Okay, so it's Seth, then Brucon, then Malar, then Fleeting.
Now I've got to find the...
So it's like party, party, party. Oh. Then it's the frog dude. Then it is Mr. Leobrin, and finally question mark.
Question mark.
Question mark goes last. I wonder what the question mark could be.
What
Anyway, top of the order. Over to
So my
Seth.
crossbow, I've got 80-foot range.
yeah.
Since I was stealthing at the back, do I have advantage?
You have advantage because of the body's in the way. He's got half cover, so it just adds a bit to his AC.
I was about to say, oh, so what is it now? And I was like, no, that's not.
That's not how this works. Good try. Good try.
Natural 20.
Yeah, oh, well, that hits, man. That's doubly hits. That's a shame. It's not going to be a sneak attack, though, is it? No, because you've got advantage. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Roll that sneak attack.
Snacky.
Roll all of the damage.
I was like, oh, he can't use his
Oh!
abilities.
That's literally... Oh, that's one off maximum double damage.
I rolled 3 6s and a 7.
Oh wow.
That's terrifying.
That's
Wait, how did you roll a 7?
On a d6. No, it's a
D8.
d8 for the crossbow.
So that'd be 25 plus 4.
25 plus 5.
5, so
And then-
13.
The rest?
So the rest of the damage, so that's 30 so far.
Yeah.
And that is not the same,
Yeah,
but
that
still
is-
good. Plus another 14. 44 damage overall.
44 damage. Wow.
I
Takes one crossbow bolt right in the neck there.
cool. I was about to say, also, still don't want to hit him in the stomach of.
You definitely signposted that, so I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, all right. He's not aiming for the stomach. That would be foolish.
In the stomach, you should.
And it hits him in between the kind of the neck and this like jowly bit he has hanging underneath like his chin. Yeah, it's really gross.
And then I said,
Many a wart along this creature's form.
Reloading a crossbow, is that a bonus action?
No, it's basically you can only fire it once unless you have a crossbow master
Cool, that's fine.
thing. So
You know
you
what?
reload it as part of the action, basically.
I'm gonna hang back.
Mm.
And I'm
As long
gonna
as you get
reload
full
that shit.
Yeah, all right.
And I'm gonna. Oh, bonus action, hide behind fleeting.
You can hide around the corner. That'd
Yeah,
probably
I
be
know.
better.
You are not a half there.
That'll
Don't
definitely
try and
work.
pull that.
Yeah, so
gonna-
bonus action hide.
So just roll a stealth check.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that there was no short rest.
No, he's not short rested. 25 for my stealth.
You were
25. That's nice.
You were on
Yeah,
full
that's
health
enough to
there?
hide.
Oh no, you were above half though.
Because you obviously fired the shot. I rolled a perception check.
50%
Against your
was-
stealth, but you
have been
beat it, so you
expended.
Okay, so that's Seth Brucon.
Yeah.
Over to you.
So it can be on 35. No. What is it? Where's my speed? What is
35
my
and 40,
speed?
don't you?
40. There we go. It's 40 because I took the feet. That gives me an additional boost. So 40. So that will be. Okay. So these things here reasonably solid, sturdy.
Yeah, these are overturned tables
Cover
and chairs.
conferring kind of things.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so Brucon's gonna step into the room. 5, 10, 15. No, is the first one free? I can't remember the diagram.
The first item's free, yeah.
First item's free, so that'd be 10,
Well, normal.
10, 20, and then after that it's double each
So
one.
each second one.
Each second one.
Yeah.
So that'd be 25, and that'd be 35, and that'd be 40. And as Brucon's action, he's gonna hunker down and get into. He'll hunker down and take cover.
So as you round that corner there to hunker down behind the cover, you see, aiming a short bow directly at you,
Yeah.
Oh dear.
are one of these troglodytes that have been waiting to ambush you. Just put him at the edge of that grey one. Yeah, about there. That's good. Gets to surprise you a little bit with his attack. So will a 21 hits? Yeah. Yes.
If the first syllable was T and it wasn't 10, then the answer to your question is yes.
Yes.
Use that, you can hit him on a 2.
10
Nice.
I'm assuming it's physically impossible for this guy
Okay.
to roll a 2.
So you take 3 points of piercing damage from an arrow, but
Deflect missile.
Yes.
Yeah, boy. Obviously. Hang on a minute. I'm just looking up how it works because the printout didn't actually include all of the printout of D&D Beyond.
D10 plus something.
Oh, the
Yeah,
printout
it's
of D&D
monk
Beyond
level.
is not the best out of
You
D&D
don't even
Beyond.
need to make a roll, I think you just catch it.
How much damage was it?
How much?
3.
3.
Yeah, you just catch that.
So
Just catch that.
Brucon literally just goes, yeah, whatever, and
So
just
that's your reaction,
cast
but
it.
you've caught
and
it.
that's his
Yeah.
reaction. Yeah.
You caught it. You can throw it back with a key point though.
I can, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. So, nope.
He's not worth a key point.
Oh, them's be
A,
fighting words.
correct. B, not swimming in them right now.
Fair enough. So yeah, the shot comes out instinctively, catch it, trying to catch you off guard, but not for you, not today. I was going to say yes, D&D Beyond the printout I find not the best part. The best part of D&D Beyond is obviously the fact that you can have it on the stream, so you guys can see the characters.
I'm
That's
Yeah.
great.
imagining that for Brucon, it was like it goes around the corner, Troglodyte fires. Brucon's not even acknowledging and looking at him.
I'm literally, yeah. Did you watch Altered Carbon the first season at all?
Yes.
Do you remember the bit when Kelchris Falconer like literally catches a dagger behind her head?
Oh yeah.
That's Brucon
Yeah.
right now. Just kind of like, yeah, what? He's just gonna go, guys. I don't know what you're.
I'm psyching myself up to watch season 2, but I haven't got there yet. But it will happen. Oh, okay,
I've only watched one episode, but it's not looking fantastic.
okay.
We're all about to have a lot more time to watch stuff, and maybe our standards need to come down a tiny bit.
Maybe they do, and much more time for watching and playing D&D
Dungeons and
remotely.
Dragons.
Hopefully.
Right.
Fingers
Anyway.
crossed. Okay, so that's. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
No.
Okay, so you run.
Was that the Troglodyte's reaction?
Yes, that was its readied action. So that's
Cool.
a reaction. That's your reaction.
Yep.
You haven't really
we're all
taken an
reaction.
action yet, have you? Or you just hiding?
No, we haven't. There has been no reaction. No action even.
You're the stunt man. You need to have some action.
Lights and some.
And some
Yeah, give
camera.
me some lights and some camera. Does he have darts? He might do.
Or a dagger.
I haven't recorded. Oh no, I definitely do have darts, but I just haven't bothered to record the stats for them. But I know.
I know in the chicken.
E4, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause you're
Brucon's literally going to pull out a dart and fling it at the Troglodyte.
The Troglodytes.
Well, you do have a dart.
Troglodyte.
It's crossbow.
Oh, okie dokie. Roll an attack.
Yeah. So 24. Literally rolled nothing but 18 today.
We're gonna have to check that dice.
Don't be a
You should
It's
check that
on
dice.
different dice. Anyway, so
That hits.
24. Yeah.
That hits.
So
Roll some
D4
damage.
plus 4, 6 damage.
6 damage. Nice.
You could have rolled an 18 on that as well.
Yeah, right.
Would have been great.
Right.
Oh, it looks wounded from that one hit with the dart. It's and just looks really pissed off as you hit it right in the
It
right in the
it
stomach.
did not shrug the impact off
Unlike you, with just not
Yeah,
even
yeah,
acknowledging the
yeah.
arrow.
precisely.
It feels outgunned and outmatched. Yes, pathos. Anyway, after Brucon, it's Malar.
Me again.
It's not fitting.
He's
Yes.
after Malar.
No,
Malar got 18.
Oh, you got.
numbers.
I was-
Here's,
I was-
here are numbers.
I was reading 3 for you.
Okay, what is Malar going to do?
General consensus: what would Malar do? He'd probably go,
Yep.
Pull the dead.
Yeah, that
Toll
was
the dead.
that was very much
Yeah.
toll the dead.
Toll the day.
toss him dead.
Oh, does
I
it?
think he's actually watching right now. I just picture him.
Yes.
Dan, if you're
We have
watching, you should
Adrian.
enter the
No,
competition.
I just picture him at home listening to this and just in surround, like he's not paying attention, in surround sound right around him he just hears 4 different Texan versions of Toll the Dead.
So you only got second level and below spell slots,
He's level 4, so yeah.
and 1 level 7.
That's to do with the magic. That's to do with the magic item. Ignore that.
Don't use that.
Okay.
It's
There's
a
also another
one-time
spell
thing.
in there which is also to do with the
Yeah, I
item.
can see it. It's the ones marked Fortune's Folly, correct?
That's it. Yeah. That's
okay.
his cool item.
Yeah. Toll the Dead does
Toll the
indeed
Dead.
seem to be the obvious option here.
Yep. And the
So he's gonna
Yeah.
step in and
It is his suggestion
do
as well.
do a dramatic.
great. Thanks, Dan.
Sorry.
It is his suggestion as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Oh, cool. Is this in Discord?
Discord.
If you haven't joined our Discord yet, please do so. We have a link to it on our Twitch page. Moving on.
Like our players at home, you can suggest Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead.
DC 14.
I
wisdom
deliberately
save.
overdid the throat clearing there to make it clear that this is not a dry viral cough. This is my throat being all fucked up in a different way. Anyway, yeah, Toll the Beard is so. But as he enters the room, he'll do the kind of he'll invoke the 8 and Kevin or whatever, whichever.
Kevin and Steve.
Brian
Kevin and Steve.
or whichever one it is, but
It's Keith and Steve.
most-
Come on, guys.
the most relevant of the 8 when it comes to
deck
clearing
clearing.
infestations of amphibious monstrosities.
Indeed. Just remind me the range of Toll the Dead. It's
60 feet.
It's 60. Great. That's fine.
6-0.
You're good. You're good. I was thinking 30 for a second.
Yeah, no, it's
Go
60
ahead.
it's
So
60 feet.
he
it'll be
wisdom
the
save.
Troglodyte wisdom save.
I rolled a 2, so that's failed.
Yeah, that's
so
failed.
D12 of damage because he's already
I need
taken.
to get different dice. A D12.
Would you like a D12?
I would, but I'm going to use one of mine
Okay.
because I never get to use my D12 because I don't play a barbarian. Actually, I have done, but not very often.
That's
So-
fair. That's fair.
The
You
magical
roll that D12.
Ooh, yeah. So there's no bonuses or anything.
No, it's just that. Oh no, it's it's just that.
It's just the number on the roll. So
Yeah.
8.
I was going to say he's not
You're
level.
as
He's not
close
level
to
5
saying
yet.
18 as possible.
Yeah.
If he was level 5, he'd be rolling 2 of those babies, but that's all to come
Yeah.
in the future.
I rolled an 8. I rolled 18 to the nearest 8.
An ominous bell,
Minus
bell
8.
tolls. Just a cold dong,
Yeah.
and you see it visibly shake. This large, well, almost behemoth-like being. He's a large creature, I should
No.
say.
Oh, okay.
So-
I was assuming it was going for the.
He's a big boy.
Oh, you were going for him. I
Yeah,
thought you were going for him.
He'd received damage already.
So did he, from an
Right.
arrow.
Oh right, okay. Well,
Also,
oh well.
he's the one we fought earlier. We scrapped
Fine.
up
Yeah, cool.
earlier.
It makes more sense. I was just going with the kind of that's fine.
Kill the guy off in front of Brucon, please. Yeah, that's
No,
probably a
it
good
wasn't.
idea.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I hadn't clocked that this guy was just as viable a target as the other one.
No worries. Over to fleeting.
Has anyone else made themselves...
Oh,
Can you see anyone else yet? 5,
Shot him with a
10,
crossbow.
15,
Moron.
20, 25... Has anyone else popped out?
Not currently, no.
Uh,
I mean, they will now, yes. yes, one will pop out from behind that one.
oh, perfect. Where is he?
Perfect. I want him.
Fleeting's
I want
on
him in the
4?
clear. Here you
Yeah,
go.
no, that's freeze the perfect amount.
Activating my track.
So a 19 on the dice, so that'll definitely hit. That's
Happy with that spot? And do we? Oh yeah, we've got the map.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That'll do. So
Yeah, Fleet's 18 armor class.
So 3 piercing damage.
Cool. He's on 29 now.
Excellent.
Thank
thank you.
We're HP buddies.
HP
Aw.
buddies.
Cool. So now that there are 3 people, he is going to cast Bane, which
There we
targets
go.
up to 3
3
people. You can
creatures.
see.
Very nice. They have to make what
so
save
they have
is
to
that?
make charisma saving throws.
Oh, and these are very charismatic creatures you've targeted here, so they should be absolutely
Everyone who
fine. That's-
oozes slime out of their pores is very
what's the
charming.
DC?
14.
14. Both the Troglodytes fail. Oh, that's not in the
And the
box.
Froglodyte?
And the Froglodyte also fails. They all fail.
Cool. So now, whenever they make an attack or
Very
a saving,
good.
whenever they make an attack or a saving throw,
Bravo! Bravo!
-4.
the
As long as
target
a
must
D4.
roll a d4 and subtract that whenever they make an attack or saving throw.
Excellent. Very good. Nice one. Fleeting look. This is most combat efficient. I was not expecting fleeting look to. No.
Hit things. Do stuff.
that's
Contribute.
Paid attention to his spells and decided not to just keep divine smiting.
that's a good
And
idea.
You can't reach anyone to divine smite.
And I'll mark the spell off as well. That's minions.
Oh, he's only got level 1 spell slots.
Yeah, buddy. He's got 2 left. Cool.
He will. It's concentration, so if you
Yep.
hit him, he does need to make concentration checks.
Makes sense. Good stuff. That's his turn. Over to the Froglodyte, as it will now be known.
Yay.
Forevermore.
Forevermore. It's now immortal.
I'm getting royalties for this, right?
5,
Yeah, obviously.
15, 20.
You can move to 15 feet away from
Yeah.
those two. So maybe one more
One more.
from Malar and
Within
Fleeting.
15 feet would
If
be.
it-
Yeah, within
yeah,
15
to
feet.
hit.
There you go. Does he want to be direct facing one?
Between the two is fine. He's a large creature. Sorry, it takes up 4 squares.
Have you got a?
Chunker boy.
I do.
Have you got a base plate?
Yeah. Hang on. I should have got one out earlier. Here's one I made earlier.
If you don't have one, I'll break up enough chocolate fingers to make a square around them.
And
Oh, should I say I had
that's
one?
going to get messy and
I had one. I don't know where it's gone. So no.
Okay, no worries.
unhygienic.
So we'll just put him here, so he
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
forward.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Okay.
Mondo sensible.
Okay, so first thing it's gonna do is it's going to its tongue spews forth from its mouth, flicking straight towards Fleeting Look, because he just banged him. Oh, hang on, no, that's not fair.
Told his dead.
Told the dead also happened. So I'm gonna roll d6 to see which way this guy goes with this. A 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it goes for Fleeting Look.
Told your dad.
-4 to the roll.
So it's
Because of Bane, yeah. So he's going to try and tongue attack him. 17 minus
that
1.
what we're calling it now?
So
It
it's...
misses, it's at 18 AC.
Well, he's got a +8, so...
It misses, he's 18 AC.
16 plus 8.
24.
Misses, he's 18 AC.
Okay, so it hits. So Fleeting Look's going to take 3d6 necrotic damage, bear with me. And he needs to make a strength saving throw. He takes 8 points of necrotic damage. And needs to make
Oh, he's
a
a strong boy
strength
now.
saving throw.
14 on the strength save.
14 just fails.
Ooh.
Just fails, which means he gets pulled
Is he not?
right up to 5 feet within.
Who's he? Sorry.
Fleeting Look gets pulled within 5 feet
Yep.
of
But
the
remember he's-
Froglomoth.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
big
because
boy.
he's occupying
Yeah.
you 4, isn't he? If it wasn't horrendously
How
unhygienic,
much
my
damage
folded
does he
up
take?
tissue would
He's
work
taken
fine.
8 points of
Must be
damage.
unhygienic.
So he needs to make a DC 10 concentration check.
Yes, please.
So it's constitution.
Yeah, he saves
Oh yeah,
it.
he nailed
He
it.
saves, great.
Yeah.
It then gets to
Very fleet.
and he is now grappled,
He's on,
So his attacks.
and he can use a
Normal.
bonus action to bite him. Hang on.
he's on fleet.
So it's normal. He's just grappled, can't move.
Yeah.
So he's going to try and bite Fleeting now. So it's another -4 because the concentration's still up. Okay, that's better. -4 to so, fine. Yeah, tries to bite him, but misses at this time.
Does it miss because of Bane?
9. No, he missed anyway. Sorry. But you did roll 4 on the Banes. That's good.
Whenever I've seen someone use Bane and stuff, just like, no, that still would have missed anyways. I've never seen Bane actually affect a roll.
I'm sure it affects the dice juju. I'm sure it does. Anyway, so that's a lucky escape because he doesn't get bitten or swallowed at this time, which is very polite. So that's him. Over to the Oberon.
Yeah. That's 10, 20, 30. So I'm gonna move up at least to probably about here. Move up to here. I can drop some rats and have them run out on their turn, right?
Yep, they got their own initiative. Yeah.
Boom. I'm gonna drop some rats.
Okay. So action to use the Staff of the Rat King.
Yeah.
Roll initiative for the Swarm, and if you wouldn't mind tracking their stuff, that would be great.
Where are
We
they?
should keep
That's
that on you
good.
now.
It's
isn't
good.
it?
It's good. It means they're coming up very soon. I think.
That's good initiative.
Yeah, they are coming up. They're just coming up. Yes, the last. Effectively, they're on 2.
2. Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
They go last. That's great. That's the least amount of hassle.
Give the 8 to him so he remembers?
Excellent.
I'll
Good
like
point. Thank you, James.
Let's work for you.
Yes, that's very true. I was like, wait, who's 8? No, it's good.
Should I put a die on the table, or is there a rat figure I can put in?
I'm good to see what I can rustle up. See what's in the box of dreams. I have a small dog.
If the box of dreams has rats in it, then I would like to take issue with its name. Although having said that, I would really like a pet rat.
It's like when you pick up a bag of devouring
It's so cute.
instead of a bag of holding. There you go.
They're all fastidious with the hands.
Yes. I've had a rat.
The staff of pug summoning.
I've looked after a friend's pet rats, and they were delightful.
There's a lovely picture of me
rats,
with like a
lovely
rat on my
people.
shoulder, and like, hello, I'm a pirate now.
But these
Pirate
rats,
Is that your action?
it's the action to use the staff. Yeah.
Action, and I don't think I've got any.
That is adorable.
Baz.
Are you guys?
Puggerific.
Are you guys seeing this
Oh,
shit?
do you want to move the?
Yes.
Yeah, move the camera in. Let's get a close up.
Behold.
Seems the action is moving forward anyway.
Behold.
I've moved and I've
The pug rat.
That pug rat.
I've moved and I've actioned, so I'm done.
You did? Okie dokie. So that means over to the Troglodytes.
I'm going to just keep talking in my Oberon voice so no one accidentally attacks me. As I've realised that it takes an action. Oh no, wait, I can drop it.
It's not gonna work.
We know what you
Is
look
it-
like.
Apologies, folks.
Well, we should.
I'll have to
What's
bring you back.
He still looks like a troglodyte.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Disguise selves up for
So
now.
he
Yeah.
still wants to talk like Leo so that we don't.
Oh, so you
like-
get confused. You're also
Yeah.
holding a staff, which none of the others are, and you're facing the wrong way. This is good so far. Keep it up,
I
though.
disguised the weapon to look like a spear. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. But good you keep talking.
So-
Yeah.
And you're on their
Troglodytes
side. Troglodyte's turn, not the Oberon Troglodyte, the actual Troglodytes. Okay, so the one nearest Brucon's going to drop its bow, and it's going to run straight up to Brucon, and it's going to make several attacks against you, but it is baned, so this should help. First attack with its claws.
Yeah, that was your direction from down.
Yeah, no, I've
Minus
seen
4, 8. Nah, that's going to miss. I'm sure it's going to miss. That's like a 10.
it. Yeah, no.
Miss because of Bane.
Sorry. Next
If
attack.
it does, let me know.
Second claw. Okay, this might. 15 on the dice. It's minus 1. So it's 19, 18.
18 is a hit.
Sorry, Bane wasn't quite enough this time.
One
So,
day I will see Bane affect something.
so
This
with
is
the
my favourite.
claws, so you take
This way.
6 points. Sorry, 4 points of slashing damage. Slip of the tongue.
I was going to say, that was going in the direction of a bit of a Freudian slip there, wasn't it?
Freudian slip. Final, and then
Yeah. How many damage? How many points of...
4 slashing damage, and then finally finishing off with a bite against you. Gonna miss anyway.
Cool.
Sorry, Bane. Rolled a 5. That's that one.
Just treat it as insurance, right?
Yeah, it's a guarantee. The other one is also going to drop its bow, and it's going to run at Fleeting Look and attack him because he's the nearest, and makes sense. Again, he's baned.
Oh, hang on a minute, that's occupied.
That's going to probably miss anyway. Minus 1 with the bane. It's 6 on the dice, so yeah. 9 will miss. And then second attack, second claw, natural 20, so that'll hit.
18 AC. No.
All of the different...
This is it. No.
all the different possible permutations.
So natural 20.
Oh, if only Bane affected crits, that'd be great.
Fortunately, it's not a very strong attack, so it only takes 5
Amazing.
points of slashing damage from the crit, so it's a DC 10 concentration.
Can you change his thing?
Check. I can change his thing. Of course. Yes.
Concentration check.
Stand and prove the strength of your spoon by my
Yes,
side.
just made it.
Just made it.
It
Great.
was a 10, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do over 10 damage with these boys.
You changed Malak.
They
to
can't.
A friend of mine started watching Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
I just changed, yeah.
And was kind of like, it was like,
Hang on.
it's okay, it's quite good.
I think I did it last time
I
as
don't
well.
think he's taken any damage in this.
But
He hasn't healed though, so he's still
He
on.
didn't take any damage last time.
He wasn't on full.
Oh, was he not? Okay.
No.
He was all aboard the hop train though.
But sorry.
Like,
let me-
the rest of it,
here we go.
hop.
Yes, I did it right the last time, and this time I did it wrong. Okay, 5 damage to him. Third and final attack with bites this time. Oops. Might make the difference here, yeah. Okay, without the Bane, 15 would have missed. So the Bane did nothing, I'm sorry.
It's like
But the
10
Bane is
uses
still
of
up.
Bane. Nothing.
From the back here, though, we've got one more pops up behind here. Taking a shot again at Fleeting Look.
Do you want to give me a thing?
Yeah, 1 sec.
I love that you went to go put it on the board and you're like, I don't have anything.
I was kind of assuming one was going to appear.
Ah! He's like,
The Troglodyte.
even with the
Just a
ambush,
good old
a
Arthur.
12 will miss.
Where does he
Where
wind up?
you, there's good. No, where you were before. That's good.
Cool.
That's good, right there. Pops up, shoots, no damage. He
Shoots.
misses. He shoots and he misses. And that's end of their go, so it's top of the round, over to Seth.
Can I
There's a number 8.
pop?
Stephanie.
There's
Oh,
rats.
sorry, the rats.
The
Apologies,
rats.
the rats.
Oh, yeah.
Boys.
Forgot about the rats, they're new.
Well,
New to this encounter.
This is the nearest target,
Yep.
so we'll go for that. The rats, yeah, just attacking this guy. This fellow me lad. What is their rolls? Bite. There we go. That's a 15 to hit.
15 will hit, yes.
Yay! And that is 2d6. 4, 9 piercing damage.
Oh, it is looking rough as it's being chewed up by these rats. Because it's sort of, they're in its space, right?
They're going to go beside it rather than they can go in its space, but
Okay.
they don't have to.
Okay, yep. It's gnawing away at it, yep.
I'm going to lean out from where I am, and I'm going to take a shot at Froglodyte.
Okay.
Advantage because I use stealth.
Yep, yeah, you got
He's
advantage.
fine.
He's still got cover, but yes.
Yep.
Half cover.
17 on the dice plus 5.
That'll hit.
7.
Oh, plus 8.
That'll hit, yep.
25.
Oh, have you got what? Have you got
That'll hit, yep.
8?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm level 5.
Oh yeah, so you're already proficiency.
He's
bonus
just
has
got
gone up
level
as
5, yeah.
well. Damn it! I keep forgetting he's the protagonist.
Oh, yes!
Oh, did you do it again?
What should I
Oh,
say?
not quite.
I rolled
not
3
quite.
6s again.
Yeah,
Okay.
Three
yeah.
sixes.
Two,
Three sixes
two
and
on the
two.
D8, which is
So
slightly
12,
less impressive, but
18,
20.
19, 20, 25.
25 damage?
Yep.
Nice. Still up. Not looking a bit ropey, but he's up.
Very much the opposite.
And then I'm going
Yes, he
to
was
go
in the
yeah.
very first session, so you got the benefit of a bit more XP. You had a whole bit by yourself, which
Yeah.
I think the rest of you weren't party to.
You and Malar.
And then I move back and bonus
The
action.
Malar's then missed stuff.
And Haitsu, roll another stealth check.
29.
Yeah, that'll do it.
James, have you missed a session? Like, this is not a criticism. I'm just
No,
genuinely
I
curious.
don't
Have you
think
missed a session that he's not missed?
There is
no session if I miss. That explains A,
Yeah.
why he's got the most XP, and B is the protagonist. Carry
Whoa,
on.
whoa! You're all the protagonists here.
I
Just
know,
to be clear.
it's very, very clear who the protagonist is. in
There
this
is a
one.
certain storyline which Seth is revolving around. That's true at the moment, but that's not to say that will change later on.
Orbiting.
Yeah, or should I say the plot is
I
orbiting
definitely
him
need
at
to
this
tag
time.
out my dice.
The rest of you are
Sounds like that.
equally important and probably more so in future events. We should
Ha!
see how it goes.
That got him to admit it.
Damn, it was a trick all
You've
along.
activated my trap
This is like trying to
card.
tell you what your favourite child is, and I'm like, no, you're all my favourite. Stop it. Okay.
It's like when it's like, come on, just give me the compliment.
You're all my
Come on.
favourite after games.
Yeah.
But he was my firstborn. Okay.
That's
all
not
right.
how
Yeah.
first
Meanwhile-
works.
All right. Over
If
to you,
anything,
Bart with Bruton.
Yeah, cool. This Froglodyte in front of me.
Oh yes. Beginning of your turn, you need to make
The
a Constitution
frog or
saving
the frog?
throw
Okay.
because you've got a boyo
Smell it.
up in your grill, stinking out the place.
Is it a poison?
Yes, it is.
Sweet.
Yes, it is.
Advantage.
You have advantage.
Constitution,
Yes.
you'll say. Okay, so that's well, one of those is a crit, and
Yes!
the other is 23.
You are so healthy. The
Yeah.
air you're breathing is it's got a faintly sweet scent. It's Kind of like cardamoms.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
when you
go
say you
ahead.
get 18 so much that I was like, fine, we'll give you a 19 and a 20.
Yeah, it's
God.
that's a direct consequence of Brucon's decision this morning to don Jean-Paul Gaultier's parfum.
I had the worst advantage roll on Sunday.
Protector.
Oh yes, that is literally the worst
That is
advantage
the
roll.
worst.
That is
That is
Double
an
ones.
actual
That is-
Snake
That
eyes.
is such a Leo roll.
The saddest times.
yeah.
It happens, buddy. It
Right.
happens.
Okay. So Brucon is not poisoned.
And now my
So
character's
he
in hell.
is going to respond by punching this thing. Well, but
Some
yeah,
heroes wear ruffs.
doing the old
Gotta find
sneaker
that
snack.
store.
So I'm not going to spend any key points on this. Purple dice for short sword, black and red for an unarmed bonus attack.
Alright.
Okay, so short sword. Well, the sword, the unarmed attack is a natural 1. However, the short sword was a 15.
15 hits, yes.
15 is it? So d6 plus 4,
F it up.
6 damage.
That
once
is
again.
enough. That is enough to slay that Troglodyte in front of you.
Suck it,
Goes down.
suck it, jabroni.
I thought you were going to drop him in your drink. You're like, ah, in your
Huzzah!
face.
Drown, little Troglodyte. Yeah.
Cool, well that leaves me with some movement. No, he's occupying...
You can still get to him.
Yeah. Brucon is going to attempt to... Oh yeah, hang on a minute. What am I doing? Haven't had my my weekly stunts. Remember kids, stunts are part of the balanced breakfast.
Ride the Froglodyte.
Brucon's gonna as the Froglodyte goes down, Brucon's gonna jump onto it and then spring off it
Yep.
and then attempt to vault parkour over this ruiny stuff here and wishes to wind up in a position here.
A
But
flanking
in-
position, you might
yeah,
say.
that's very much the word. Yes.
Ah.
Very nice.
So he's got zillions of squares of movement, but I'm up for making some kind of ability check if that's what you think is.
Want to get over the table?
Yeah, to.
I'll just say, given your stunting behaviour, you'll be fine.
Yes.
Brucor.
But you can make a performance check to just see how amazing your stunt
How
is.
sick my stunts are.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
As
My stunts are 21 sick,
That is
which
a-
I think is
So
quite
we just
sick.
need to add in your D&D Beyond a new skill, just saying sickness skill.
you
And
hear
it's
you
like,
hear
oh
a-
yeah, super sick.
Should we be using the term sick in these day and age?
Thank you.
There's many interpretations.
Brucon's stunts are
Do
hygienic.
you still have your bonus attack?
He's used it.
No, I used it.
Ah,
But you do hear
It
you
missed. Probably.
You hear a very amongst the furore of the melee. You do hear a little gasp from fleeting look.
you hear it from inside the
Aw.
Froglodyte.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Save me,
Oh my
please.
god, that was so cool. As you flank and
Such
maneuver
cool.
behind it, and as Martholio says, because Marta's watching,
Oh,
he rules unchecked, unchallenged, stunting at will.
accurate.
When the Froglodyte has tongue out grappled him, are we able to hear any cries from help?
And
from
yes,
stock?
I am indeed king of the left side of the table.
Not from where you are, no.
Yeah.
As you know, if it was like Rachfell, it's like, help me, please. Somebody help.
Nope, not that you can tell. Brucon, that's
Malar.
done, so
Yeah,
go to
that's
Malar.
Brucon. Oh yeah, then it's me again.
We've all currently got two characters: the paladin, the priest, the rats.
How's
Yeah.
fleeting on
The rats are a
how's
character.
fleeting on the old hit point front?
Fine, I think. Yeah.
Fine.
He's down like 10. So yeah.
Putting him down to.
We've already used Malar's channel divinity today.
32.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to.
Is that
I'm trying to get like you can count, like.
Saying, but it hasn't refreshed.
I mean, you could say he's fine. He's only taken 10 points of damage. But if we were to say this
Yeah.
about Leoberin,
he's okay.
cool.
He can
Alright.
take a.
No,
He's
probably
got
no need.
2/3 of his hit points left.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the
He's on 24.
it was the
Sorry,
perc-
it wasn't refreshing.
it was the kind of
The
percentage.
remaining
thing.
number is the important one.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, he's on 24.
So in that case, might as well toggle it again. Second verse, same as the first.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save DC 14.
Ooh. Oh no, he's got good wisdom.
Oh,
That's
shit.
15. Just passes.
Darn! Nothing.
Oh
happened.
wait, Bane. Does
Bane.
Bane account
For
for
everything.
saving
No.
throws?
Saving throws and attacks.
Yeah, I'm
Not ability checks.
reasonably confident it's.
I'm gonna roll it anyway.
Attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
-1 brings it to 14, which still succeeds, unfortunately. Sorry. Bane didn't work again. I'm sorry.
Tough to
Only,
grapple.
only getting 1 on Bane is a problem. If it
Yeah.
had been 2 or 3.
If it was 2, it would have been enough.
Significant.
But anyway,
You only adopted telling the dead. I was born in it. No one about it. Sorry, we've been using the word Bane multiple times.
no worries at all. Number 4, over to Fleeting.
Cool. So he's restrained. That just affects his. Sorry, he's.
He's grapples,
So
yeah, so he
it affects
can't
his
move, but
movement.
he's good on attacks and things.
Cool. He is going to take out Fair Storm,
Yes, he is.
and he is going to hit it, and he has advantage because Brucon is on the other side.
You're
Flanking
well,
advantage, yes.
So
Well
plus
done.
5.
Yeah.
So he gets
That's
22.
22 hits, yeah.
So it's D8 plus 3.
Because he's improved now, he's got lycanthropy.
11 damage.
Very nice. Very nice. It's looking ropey. The Troglodyte is looking pretty ropey at this time, but more ferocious than ever. Anything else that Fleeting wants to do with his turn?
No, he's really concentrating on the spell. His bonus actions are spells, concentration. So yeah, he's good.
He's good. All right. Over to the Froglodyte. I'm just going to repay in kind. Beginning of his turn, he disengages the jaw, opens wide, and you hear a guttural roar from inside, and the foundations around you start to shake. So Brucon, Fleeting, Malar all need to, and Leobrin all need to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, great. So
60
Malar.
foot range? Or how big is this range?
It is affecting these two parts. So the corridor that you're in.
Oh, it's a whole area.
It's an area. It's a layer action.
Okay.
Dexterity save.
Dexterity
Okay,
save.
so
Yes.
green will be Malar.
16.
And purple will be Brucon.
16 for Fleeting. He's good. He's good. He's still up.
Does he take any damage?
No damage.
What
he's
is
still up.
happening? So Malar got 19. Bearing in mind that his defense saving throw bonus is zilch.
Right.
So that was just a phenomenal roll. And Brucon just pulled a 24 out of his arse.
So you guys are great. You
So-
you feel the rumble. You see bits of like masonry work, bits of earth, and so on start collapsing around you. In fact, the
I don't know how many
The
HP.
Troglodytes also
What's
need
your
to make a
remaining
save.
HP situation?
I've got full 11.
the one nearest to Fleeting, fine. The one at the back here falls over and gets crushed in some rubble that falls from the ceiling,
Ha!
taking
No, I won't
5 points of damage.
Gosh.
Let's see what happens.
He's still up, but he's prone.
should
but
should the
he's,
rats be taking the save as well?
Oh yes,
Yeah. They're better than
Oh,
I am.
nice. Is that an 18?
That's an 18.
18. The rats
Yeah,
are
rats
fine.
are on 18. I'm on 13.
13 and 14
There we
fails.
go.
You go prone, and you take
Prawn.
maximum 8 points of
Oh,
bludgeoning damage. I rolled 2 4s on
That was the
three
wrong
4s.
button.
I'm so sorry.
I wish I'd healed 8. Good times, everybody. Good times. Good times.
Good.
I am
That's
at.
right, you're right.
You say good times,
He has
but
not
in a
been
way that makes me
damaged
wonder if the
Since
times
the
are in
last time a
fact
ceiling
good.
fell on him.
Yeah.
I'm,
This is.
yeah.
You're not getting on well with.
I'm at Bart's position in initiative HP.
He's used to being he's used to being outdoors.
That position or that position.
Oh, sorry.
Malar.
Malar.
You've only, the last time you took damage was a ceiling.
Then he is going
It's always
to.
ceilings.
Then he's going to make a bite attack against Fleeting, who's still grappled. So it's -4.
Yeah.
That's going to fail anyway. Oh no, wait. It would have failed anyway. 14. Yeah.
Ah,
14 minus 3.
God,
Yeah.
man.
No,
That's the
he's.
thing I wanted to do.
That's
Why
all.
couldn't he have hurt Fleeting? Wait, the hell is
That'd
Okay,
be,
great.
that's- you mean your friend, Fleeting, your bestest buddy,
I wanted
your
him
closest,
to. I
most
wanted,
bosom chum in all the
as
world.
he was about to be eaten, I wanted him to hellish rebuke in his mouth.
But the tongue sort of.
Get my gun back.
The tongue does nothing, just creepily like.
Sliding
Slides
intestinal
him.
parasite.
So it goes loose and unfurls and teleports shadow steps away. So 1, 2, 3, back over here. Over here. There we go. Away from the
Glomp.
melee for the moment.
Glomp, glomp.
That's its go. Over to Leobrin.
Leobrin.
Oh, yeah, go Leobrin.
Stands up because it's easier to see things that way. He is going to fire and
Good shout, sorry. Apologies
okay,
for
man.
my substandard camera work.
No, it's absolutely fine, sir. I'll be doing this all on my own from now on. Doing the action count.
he's going to fire a thumping blast of eldritch energy at the nearby Troggle.
Troggle. Boggle.
That's gonna hit. That's a 25.
Yeah, buddy, that'll hit.
So what is your bargain? Bargain.
Yeah, that's 9.
Demolition
Force
Man
damage.
kids.
Oh, it snaps its neck. He's gone.
Yo.
It was that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That was maybe not my most organised manoeuvre. I'll yell at the rats to go after the big boy. And that is the
What's
end
their
of
movement?
my turn.
Oh, they're
So
not.
they're-
not
they're-
I have to order them to do things.
Yeah.
So it's yep.
So you have to.
So
This
that-
douchebag stands up, presumably.
Oh,
Troglodyte's turn next.
maybe I'll.
Oh, it's
I'll,
this
I'll
guy.
send him after the. I'll send him after the.
Oh.
Sorry, Trogs, not frogs.
I'll send him after the little guy actually. Rats are going after the
So
little guy.
just before actually I jump in with the Troglodytes, and I should say, as Martha's now watching, you may have missed that in celebration of certain birthdays this week, we have new merch in the merch store. One for Neris and one for Leobrin. Go and check them out. There's links to them on our Twitch page. The words "I could set it on fire" come to mind with Neris. Yeah, go and check it out. See what you think. And I will at some point get these sorted for the rest of you when your prospective birthdays happen. But as these guys were first, they're first tonight. It's coming. It's coming, everyone. Lots of exciting things. Over to the Troglodytes then. So as you say, this guy here is going to get up.
Get up, get on up.
Yeah,
And-
he still said plural troglodytes. Makes me wonder.
And he's gonna.
Would you like? Do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
He's advancing towards you. Still got a short bow out.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna make a shot at you. Oh, that's terrible. Gonna miss anyway. And then from behind cover here,
Brucon
the last another one.
Brucon makes eye contact as it fires
What's happening?
and doesn't move at all.
Natural 20
As the,
from this one. Popping out
Oh
here.
dear.
that was a natural 20 to hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's D10 was the thing,
D10.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you'd probably still be alright, but we'll see. Oh, that's quite good. 10 piercing damage.
10 piercing damage. Let's see what I can do about that.
Rolling sixes.
Finally,
7.
defect
So I
missiles.
take 3 points of damage.
No, 7 plus your.
No, 7 is the result.
Oh, okay. Dang.
I only rolled a 3.
Dang.
So, but I take 3.
So you're just gripping onto it, blood dripping from your palm as the arrow has entered your hand.
Yeah.
Can you roll a d20 for me as well?
26, so that'd be 23. The D20.
Just roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
Okay, 16.
You're good. You're good. Okay. Forgot about that earlier. Okay. That's all good. That's them. Over to the rats before
Rats.
we the bottom of the order. Over to the rats.
I think there are. Let me just check if there are 30 foot.
Rattles.
They are 30 foot. 10, 20, 30. Oh, perfect. He ran up close enough for the rats to get to him.
Nah,
Foolish
Yay.
troglodyte. His the tactics were not good.
you activated my trap rat.
It's a rat. That is 12 to hit.
12. Yeah, that hits.
Ah!
Yep.
Go
AC
ratties.
11. They're not
Yeah.
well armored, these boys.
Chom, 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 chom. 9, 10, 9. 9 piercing damage.
They are damaging rats.
That's enough because he's already taken damage
Ah,
from,
jump.
the thing. So you just see him like collapse to the floor as these rats envelop over him, similar to how you saw with that prisoner that one time back outside the Miner's Arms. You may remember.
My land piranhas.
Brucon mentally christens that specific troglodyte bitch.
Unlimited power!
Because it sucked.
Thank you.
As far as Brucon's concerned, that troglodyte was a disgrace to troglodytes everywhere.
Well,
So-
Deeply
fair enough.
underwhelming.
I am going to
Yep.
step out and realise I can't see anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Where? So they're there. So I can probably see when I get to my last 5, 10, 15,
Brave, Sir
20.
Robin.
I can see him from here.
Yeah, just about. He's not hiding. Yeah.
Cool.
The asked / stated.
So still hidden. Bonus hide last turn. So
That's that neuro-linguistic programming. Jesus, bro.
16 on the dice plus 8.
24.
24.
24. That'll hit. Yep.
Everyone needs to be an elf.
I like making a point of not being Mr. Munchkin guy.
10, 15.
I'm now.
Mr. Munchkin
I'm
hit
now
you.
thinking. what's
20
the worst possible
21
race
20.
class combo I can
21.
use to
21.
offset Mr.
That's a
Nonsense.
bit low for you. No, I'm just kidding. That's cool, man. Okay.
DK, if you're still watching, this is why you need 3 dice.
Yeah,
be an
and
elf.
to be an elf.
Really not looking good at this time. The frog, you actually hit it in one of its eyes.
I don't have any movement left, and he can see me, can't he?
Yep, he's got line of sight on you.
Cool. So I'm going to bonus action to dash and pull back.
Ah,
till
yes.
when he can't see me.
Yep, sure.
'Cause I can't like
brave
bonus action hide behind nothing. So I pull back.
Pull him back.
It's
Sounds
ugly.
good,
Eddie
sounds
Brave
good.
turned his head,
Yeah.
fled.
I'll stay there.
Okie dokie. Alright. Next up is Brucon. Now, Brucon, you hear...
Goddess.
Brucon of the Yukon. You hear...
You hear that?
No, you hear...
Wow.
Dude, this is Yukon.
You do hear... just as the beast opens its
Sounds
mouth...
bacony.
Opens its mouth and
This guy.
roars out. Yep.
Yeah.
You do hear a smaller voice inside.
And it's opened his mouth.
Yeah, and then
Mouth's still open.
no, it closes it again. Just cuts off the noise and
Oh, that would have
you see it chewing.
That would have been so good though. Funnily enough, actually being at the top of the initiative order isn't necessarily the ideal scenario here. A large-sized creature, yes?
He's a large creature.
Okay, Brucon's going to try and climb onto him.
Okay.
Possibly vaulting off a handy piece of scenery in a stunt-like fashion.
Okay. So first of all, make an acrobatics check.
Yep.
I'm now picturing this slow-mo with him opening his mouth and you diving in accidentally.
Climb that bit.
Accident. I mean, that is literally the long-term goal.
Oh
is-
my god, you're going in here.
That's exactly what Brucon. That's why I was specifically asking if its mouth was still open.
Oh my god, you're going in.
Because if it had been, then it would have been just a simple, straightforward swallow dive directly in. As it is, we're gonna have to set this up with some preceding action.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
god, you're going in here.
yes, of course.
This is he is full Men in Blacking
He's
right
going
now.
full Men in Black. But also, I do want to
That's
point
the
out.
film I was picturing. Thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah, Men in Black. Mate, I've been on it for hours. This was like, you slimy, intestinal parasite. That was exactly where I was going.
Agent K instead of Agent B.
I'm going to get my gun back. But I also want to point out that way back in the mist of time, Brucon did a super dumb thing to save the life of another person who he didn't know super well. This is now officially a thing of his.
You have to remind me who that was, but
It was Neris.
oh
With
yeah,
the dagger.
yeah. That was
the
exceptionally crazy.
The flesh brolly incident.
Yes.
As it
How could we forget?
As
How
we
could we
now
forget?
refer to it. So this is Brucon's thing. So athletics check to.
God damn it, he's a
do
hero.
Do an amazing triple salcow onto this.
A foolhardy hero, but still.
Acrobatics. Acrobatics. 15.
15 is enough to get you to launch from the debris there straight to his now now to try and get inside the thing.
Well, hang on, no,
We're gonna try and ride on him, right?
Step one is to get on the dude.
Okay.
We'll circle around to the
Step
diving
one,
down
get
its
on.
gut.
Step two,
Okay,
get in.
so
Step three, question
last
mark.
check for this. I need you to make an animal handling check.
Yep.
Step 4, profit.
You are literally handling this
Yeah.
animal.
Yep. 21.
Yeah.
With,
Okay.
what must be my 5th 18 roll of the evening?
Yay.
That's
Literally
insane.
all I'm rolling is variations on a theme by 18.
So basically, you've assessed this thing's behaviour. You know that its tongue is the real problem here,
Yeah.
and so you basically manoeuvre yourself in the jump. You kind of swing, grabbing onto its jowl, swinging behind it. So you're then basically on its back. Thinking
Yeah.
that's probably the toughest place for it to reach you.
Yeah.
You're currently riding.
How can it lick what it cannot see?
There's a deep, meaningful
Philosophical
question.
thing
That
for the
makes
ages.
sense.
Yes.
And on the way up, for Gits and Shiggles, and because he's really not got a whole lot else to do, Brucon is also going to try and stick his cookery in the shoulder in a kind of shiv sort of fashion.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll say, given what you've done in this turn,
Yeah.
that you can make one attack roll like
Yeah,
a
no, I
bonus
wasn't.
action on
I
stuff.
wasn't going to try and go for the full whack. That seemed excessive even to
Cool.
me. But using the cookery to facilitate mounting the guard.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
And
it's
also
like Merry and
protecting-
Pippin territory,
Yeah,
and
indeed.
you know, there's all the pop culture
What?
references. You know, pop culture references. Why not follow us on Slice and Dice?
However, that is a 12.
12 is not enough to
No,
pierce his hide,
no, that's
unfortunately.
what I thought.
You kind of like hitting against
Yeah.
this stone-like
It
wart.
wedges in a carbuncle rather than actually penetrating.
Yeah, they appear to be solid. They appear to be like warts that would be quite malleable, but they're pretty tough actually. When you try and pierce the skin.
Tremendous amounts of sense. That's Brucon's turn. Over to Malar. Mr. Leobrin, you appear to be in need of assistance.
I'm rather. There's a lot of blood.
Yes, I can see that. So we'll see what we can do. So, he'll make a move forward, and is it
Cure wounds?
Cure wounds? I think is the because healing word is the ranged one,
If
isn't
you
it?
bonus action healing word, can you still toll the dead the bad guy? I don't know the rules of cantrip and spell.
He can cantrip a spell, yeah.
If
He can do.
if healing word is a cantrip, but it's a level 1 spell, isn't it?
No, but then
Healing
he
word,
can toll the dead
toll
as a
dead.
cantrip.
Spell.
Oh, toll the dead is a cantrip. Sorry,
And
you're
then you can
absolutely
healing
right.
word as
Yes.
a bonus action.
That's
Yeah, but you
true.
you can sequence it however you like, can't you? So
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So
But-
we'll do.
And also when he heals,
But cure wounds is an
Heal.
action. That's why
Yeah.
they're flagging it.
Yeah.
and if you heal him with healing, or either of them, he'll also get +3 because of Malar's Cleric of the Life.
I know this is the thing.
What
Is
is the
that
healing
doing the
words?
maths for his.
What is the healing words heal amount?
It's a D4 plus 4.
2, 4,
No.
5, 6,
healing-
7, 8.
You don't mean healing
9.
word, you mean cure wounds, don't you?
No, because they're arguing for healing word because it's a bonus action, and then he could then do an action to do toll the dead.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas cure wounds is an action,
I mean,
so you wouldn't be able to
The
toll the
average roll for healing word
Yeah. To be fair, when you
would heal me entirely,
yeah,
and you
that's-
could then do toll
That's a
dead
good
as
point.
well.
Okay, well then he won't
So you're gonna
step
do
forward. He'll just look around and go, and then say, chicken soup. We'll say that's a healing word, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
then that'll be D4.
D4.
D4 plus stupid
Seven. D4
many
plus
bonuses.
7.
D4 plus 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations, you have regained 9 hit points.
Cool.
He has
Does that put you back on
all
full?
of them.
That's
Yeah.
on full. Yeah.
That's all of them.
He,
Yeah.
he needed to
And
roll
this was
a 1
yes,
to get
it's
all
a
of them.
very good point that Leobrin is actually really useful to have in the party because of how easy to heal he is. At the same time, it's a problem because it means he needs healing a lot.
It means
Still
that he
though.
heals up on a short rest as well as getting his spells back
yes,
on a
yes.
short rest.
D4 plus 4 plus 3, I think is how it works.
He
Yeah.
gets a +3 for his.
I was
like,
just
for life
looking it up.
cleric.
Pretty much,
He was
no matter
messaging.
what he rolled, you would have got full health.
So nice or nice. So then he's going to toll the dead. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Wisdom save from the beast.
Yeah,
D
14.
minus D4.
Natural 20. Natural 20. But
Natural.
-4. No, -3. Sorry. So it would be 17.
I think it's like
It's still
19
Yeah, it still comfortably beats it.
comfortably because natural 20 is no plan saves.
one
But that's
don't
good.
bring will affect something.
Alrighty. That's Malar done. Over to Fleeting.
Can he get there in 30 feet?
I'm not sure. I think he'd get close.
So,
Oh wait,
so
he's
there,
got-
we're
he's,
here.
He's huge. So where does he actually come up to?
He's actually
He's-
there.
he's
So
a
he wants to
large
get to
creature.
there or
Yeah.
there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I think with
It's
two
a
diagonals you
double-
can't
Oh,
quite
diagonals,
It's
get
an
there.
extra diagonal.
So he's just
So
outside the
his
range. You can get 10 feet
range,
away.
He is going to pull out a javelin.
Cool.
Is he going to move?
Move a
on the
little
way?
bit.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
going to move a little bit 'cause it's 30 foot. So
Yeah, that looks good. That's less than 30 feet. You're good there.
Moving one more forward actually. And yes, he's going to throw a javelin. Nothing bonus wise. It's +4.
Are we about to segue suddenly from Men in Black to Ace Ventura?
14.
14 misses, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it hits him, but doesn't do any damage. It hits the stomach.
Oh no!
Ah,
But doesn't do any damage.
Doesn't do any damage, but it just kind of like embeds in the armor kind of hide.
So which 90s film are we in right now? It was Men in Black. Is it now Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls? Answer? No,
Still
it's
my
not
favourite
that.
thing. But cool, then that is all he can do.
Okay.
Actually, no. He is going to. Is it just the Troglodytes left? Oh no, it's him as well. So he is going to cast. Where is it?
Hunter Mark?
Oh, hang on. I'm on Malar. Fleeting. He's going to cast. He's going. Which one do I want? No, never mind. He's not going to do it. I was going to cast Shield of Faith, but it's also a concentration.
Oh yeah, because you've still got Bane. Yeah, fair.
It's because I was looking at his spells earlier, and I was thinking of Sanctuary.
Ah. Okay, that's Fleeting's go. So over to Froglodyte. Now Fleeting has moved conveniently within range, so he's and the Froglodyte not seeing and just paying no mind to the dwarf on his back.
Was he moving, sorry?
Yes. Do it.
No, he's not moving. He's staying there, but he's gonna.
Hit him.
He's going
It's
for fleeting.
fleeting.
He is gonna go fleeting.
Do it.
That's what he would do. That's what he would do.
Minus D4.
Yeah. So minus 2 to that. So 23 minus 2, 21.
Hits.
Sorry, this is really sorry. It's quite funny. So fleeting takes 12 points of necrotic
And
damage.
as he takes that,
Yeah.
Fleeting is going to point his finger at him.
Oh,
Make
hellish
a little
rebuke!
finger gun motion and fire hellish rebuke
Yeah.
right down the tongue into its mouth.
Remind me, hellish rebuke. What is it? Safe?
Creature must make a dexterity saving throw,
Okay.
which is a minus 4 to it.
Subject to that.
Yep.
Well, hang on. Is this a reaction?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's going to have to make another Constitution saving
Yeah.
in a moment.
12. 13. 12. 12.
So that fails.
Fails. Nice.
So it takes 3d10 fire damage.
Ooh,
Jesus.
burning. Oh, and
7,
well, automatically.
15.
15 damage.
15 damage. Very nice.
15 fire damage right down its tongue.
And it's still pulling. Oh, he needs to make a strength saving throw, and also the concentration check for the damage. It would have failed without the bane, by the way.
Wait, he would have passed it without bane?
No, he would have failed without the bane.
Oh, come
I'm
on!
just saying because I think that.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Because
I think the concentration check probably would have happened
16
first.
to strength?
16, that's enough, so he doesn't pull him this time.
Oh, okay.
So instead, he's going to move up to him with the tongue there, and
Which squares?
He overbalances with the Brucon.
Which square is he in? Because he takes up 4.
yeah, so he's basically those four.
Put him on the
But I
middle
can't.
of the...
I can't because he keeps falling over.
Oh, okay. I see where he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
okay,
between,
hang
between
on.
those two.
Hang on.
Anyway,
Oh no,
so,
he's...
so then he's
yes,
going
it does
to
work.
finally.
There you go.
He is also going to try and.
He's going...
He's going to attempt to bite
forward,
on
that's it.
fleeting look. Do you make his concentration check? It was 10. Still 10.
Yeah, 13.
13. He's good. Okay. So finally, then he's going to try and bite fleeting. Okay. So it was 21, but minus 4 on the bane makes it 17.
Yes! It
It
works!
works! There we go.
Right.
Bane did it!
Can I also just point out, by the way, that Fleeting has just effectively fired, has just done the hellish rebuke thing at the whatever the Froglodyte ate.
Yes.
Good. Well, thanks your.
You no longer hear any sounds from inside.
His mouth is closed.
Yeah.
So
He is the chosen
When
one.
I'm
So
making
to be
film
an-
references, mostly I'm now thinking of Star Wars: A New Hope with the proton torpedo that inexplicably does a 90-degree.
Hellish rebuke
I hit the
goes,
thing. Just died.
It just explodes from the
Yeah,
inside.
exactly.
Soon to be antagonist.
To be fair, the
it's when you
Froglodyte
see
is
the explosion and you see the little child symbol on the inside.
Seth
flying out.
Child Killer is his new title.
Fleeting.
Fleeting,
Oh,
to be
Fleeting
fair,
Child.
this is Fleeting, not Seth. It's just
Yeah.
being piloted
It's
by
just-
James.
yeah.
I'm not...
Anyway, so with that, when it staggers over, it literally staggers over to Fleeting Look. It's not looking in a good way at all. Over to Leobrin.
Yay!
Finish him.
Finish him.
I
You're
will
back on full.
move over a bit.
Look out for ceilings. You're a natural enemy.
Just so I'm not shooting into Fleeting or Malar. And then I will blast at the big frog fellow.
Okie dokie. Eldritch Blast, yeah.
Eldritch
Oh,
Blast.
blessed. Alright.
I am not from there. 16 to hit.
Hits.
Yay,
Just
nice.
hits.
That one. Dig-a-ding. 7 force damage
7 force
to
damage.
Mr. Frog Belly.
Describe to us. You slay.
power.
Slay
Aim at
the
the belly.
Froglodyte.
So Leobrin just takes a few steps to the side to sort of get his friends out of alignment with the big frog creature. And then just as he moves in line, he's just gonna like throw in his hand, pinky magenta sparkles will shoot across the room, bury themselves in the meaty froggy flesh, and then there'll just be a pop and like viscera will not like full deep inside, but they're definitely just like a crater.
Yeah, with the impact.
Oh, you've just given up on
Are you
saving.
aiming at the boy? The belly?
I'm aiming at the creature. It's like a thick.
Sorry, you
But you were just
your
saying
hands
popping
right
the
down
belly.
at the belly.
I don't get to choose where I hit it.
I would say that
You
fleeting-
literally just did. He gave you the
Yeah,
opportunity. He just said, describe to us.
Then it goes into the foot.
I was going to say it's going to be difficult getting around fleeting, so the easiest places are the head or the chest.
Then the head.
Yeah, go for the head. Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Right.
So there's a smoking crater where this Froglodyte's face once was, and it's just you hear a last, and the tongue just falls out of its mouth, flopping onto the floor by Fleeting Look's feet, and it swoons and crashes to the floor, sending Brucon
Yeah, I was gonna
tumbling
say,
to the ground.
Do you want like a dex save or
You
something?
can make a dex save, yeah.
16.
16, you're fine. You use your monk-like reflexes. You hop off at just the right moment, like Jack on the Titanic, just waiting for it to go down, and just jump off at just the right moment. That's not
I'll never
true,
let go,
but
Frog.
He still
I'll
died,
never
but
let go.
still.
I'm letting go right now.
I'll never let go, but I'm literally
No,
letting
seriously,
go.
I'm letting go.
Goodbye.
And then
you're
superhero
off.
landing because of course.
Yeah. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
I've made a move and an action.
You're good? Okay.
Quick command to the rats.
To do what? Oh, there's that other guy. Yeah, he's hiding behind a barrel. I'll send the rats to the other troglodyte
Okay.
on their turn.
It's his turn. Well, that's an interesting advantage to hide roll. Ducks behind there. Well, you see he kind of steps back into the wall, and then just seemingly disappears from view at this time. But the rats presumably will still go in that direction on their turn.
Yes. If it's their turn, they're going to run up as far as they can go. 10, 20. Do they see him yet? 30.
They can use their action to search.
Sure.
Let's
They
have a
will.
little perception check, see if they can see it.
They will have a percept. What do they get on
I'd
their
be
thing?
surprised if it was great.
Oh, now this thing smells bad, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Good, because they have advantage on scent perception checks.
But fortunately, it's only those that start its turn within 5 feet of it.
No, but I mean,
But they can
Oh,
still.
for smelling it. Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
to
Oh,
find
It doesn't mean
Find
the
it.
effect. He means just.
Sorry,
the fact
sorry.
that
Go
they-
for it.
they-
Go for
they
it. Yeah,
still-
yeah, yeah.
Find it,
I
they would like-
misunderstood. Sorry.
they can. It's a stinky boy, and they have advantage on smell checks.
That's fair enough. Go for it.
Is Malar part rat?
Where is there?
Is that why? Is that why?
It's just a straight 12.
Is that why he's so anti-Nibbles? He doesn't. He thinks Nibbles is going to give away.
12 is enough. It
Yeah,
was
well-
not well hidden.
Haha!
It's just trying to blend into
Ahoy,
the wall.
boy.
But it's
The trunk? Fake.
But that is their move and
It's
action.
hiding his
Now
rat nose.
this is now canon.
Hides his rat nose.
That is move and action.
okay. So I say that. I mean, to be honest with this last one, it's up to you whether you want to let it go or you're going to kill it, because it's not going to make it out of there, I think. Otherwise, but it's going to be fleeing now.
We're gonna
It's
kill
gonna
him.
be All right. Okay. So.
Being Trog.
Long story short, you guys do. So Seth, as you see this troglodyte trying to escape out of the mine, you take one last pop shot and manage to get it between the eyes, and it collapses down to the floor dead, leaving you all
Killer.
now silent in the room. And just as everything settles down, Brucon, you see the jaw of this, or the maw of this being, just then kind of involuntarily just opens up, and bile, just lots of unpleasant acidic liquid spew forth from it. Then followed by a very small humanoid, sort of in the fetal position,
So we were
unconscious,
birthing,
comes
kill
out.
it.
Yeah. Again, we've gone back to Ace Ventura 2.
Look, it's the mother rhinos giving birth. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
I am trying to remember the name of this child. I did make a note somewhere.
All mine
Where's the
says
child?
is
So it's
Troglodyte
just
stole my
appeared
baby.
out of the mouth.
Oh,
of
you said
the beast.
humanoid. Could it be a halfling?
Yes,
A halfling.
very small,
Can
Brucon
unconscious.
pulls out a small notebook, consults it, flicks through a couple of times, takes a moment to go, why did I write Jack time in here so many times?
Sorry, James, say that again.
It's just Fleeting's going to go over and do 2 points lay on hands on it.
All right. And actually, as Fleeting comes over to it, he sees that this child also had burn marks over its just over its top half. Cast, you say, lay on hands.
Lay on hands. So it's
2 points.
2 points. Yeah.
The wounds seem to heal, but it doesn't seem to. The child doesn't seem to wake up or move at this time.
Wake up?
As in, they're still unconscious.
How did it? I thought it
Crawled out.
crawled out.
No, it was spewed out.
Oh, it just kind of. Okay, right.
It voided its bowels.
The old. Sponging
exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, this is if it's not conscious, then this is well outside Brucon's area of expertise.
Sort of like
3 and 2.
keep using
please.
sort of
Brucon looks and
like
goes,
one
well, it
at a
doesn't
time
look like
until
he's
the burns
drunk.
are gone.
Yeah. He
And-
can take some time to do that.
Yeah, so just sort of like HP.
I'd say maybe like five would be enough
Yeah,
to
so
take it
5 overall is used
off. Mhm.
to try and remove the burns and such. Does the child look physically okay now?
Physically looks intact. Doesn't seem to be breathing
That's not
particularly
quite the
well.
word we were looking for, but okay.
He's gonna go down to the child and go, wake up. Wake up. Does it wake up?
Not
told
not
you.
yet.
Wake up!
And then
Surely at this point, Malar does the old Master Seth.
Fleeting.
Sorry. Master Fleeting, this really is not the appropriate course of treatment for an incident such as or malady such as this. Honestly, you're almost certainly causing more damage than you're healing. Please let me.
That was a fantastic Malar.
Leobrin.
Thank you.
That was a good Malar speech.
Leobrin returns to looking like Leobrin.
okay, so can Malar make a medicine check?
Yeah.
Before
Just to see
terrifying
if
this child.
Put out the stats.
I thought it was the most fleeting thing I could think of.
No, that's the fleeting thing. Leobrin is returning to humanoid rather than troglodyte form,
Oh, yeah.
so as not to terrify the waking up child.
It's the room.
Are there any other exits in here?
Medicine.
No, it seems this is a bit of a dead end.
Oh, that's a 9.
But you can make an investigation check if you want to check around for anything. A 9 with medicine check.
A 9.
I haven't seen anything like this.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm imitating actual Dan, and then occasionally I remember that Malar doesn't sound exactly like Dan. So yes. Anyway,
So it's a blend. It's a fine blend.
I'm
of-
trying to
of
remember
things.
to do the accent.
But it seems that the breathing is laboured on the child. Doesn't seem to be. It seems to be some kind of blockage.
Blockage?
Yeah. Brucon, can you make a medicine check for me?
I can certainly attempt to make one.
The child was a blockage.
Yeah. This blockage is all the way down. It's like a Matryoshka doll. Like inside the child
It's
is
like
a thing also containing a blockage.
What did you get on your investigation?
16.
16. Okay, I'll come back to
Literally the
you.
exact same damn roll. What is going
Still
on?
9.
Literally 9 again. Yes.
It's like, oh, I don't want 18. Let's do half of
It's monkcraft. It's like witchcraft.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact that I rolled with Malar. I rolled. I added +6, so I rolled a 3 to get 9, and then with Brucon I get +3, so I rolled a 6 to get 9. It's just all of the kind of the probability sphere is collapsing.
It seems to be breathing very weakly, like hardly, like it seems to be struggling for breath.
Yeah.
To try and force breath out of it at this time.
Is it reasonable for Brucon? Do you know what? I'm going to say that over the years, Brucon has had more than one pub snack based close run incident, and is able to put 2 and 2 sufficiently together here.
I mean, if you put 2 and 2 together, yes.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't. You know, I'm not a layabout. I'm not a drunken layabout fop. Scion of an incredibly wealthy merchant. We never had that much money. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and say that the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a moment. Yeah, the Heimlich maneuver. Brucon is going to attempt on this small halfling child.
All right, and you don't need to roll for this. And then
You go to
more
go
of this.
Back. Natural 20. Break his spine.
More of this bile comes out of the child's mouth. The same kind of like blackish kind of ichor.
Projectile vomit.
Yeah, it comes out, and it's just coughing. and comes back to have you see the
Whoa, steady on
flush
there.
of colour comes back in the cheeks. Oh, where am I? What happened?
Well, you were swallowed by some sort of large amphibian frog monster creature. Don't know that we ever really established exactly what species it is, but in any event, you're safe now. We've been able to retrieve you from its belly.
Who are you? Where's my mum and dad?
We're the semi-official, kind of licensed adventurers of various places. We never really got around to branding.
We'll anagram that.
Yes. Yeah, we are the placeholder here guild.
We are the AVP, the Adventurers of Various Places.
Yeah, we are the think of better name later guild.
Insert name here. Meanwhile,
I'm Brucon. This is Malar. These are and this is the crew. The others are present as well.
as you're making the introductions, you've been looking around, Seth, to try and find some other entrances or exits from this area. You don't find any. You find remnants of them, but they're completely collapsed in. What you do find, however, is
this map to scale.
Essentially.
So this treasure chest over here.
Yeah, there's a treasure chest.
Does that
there.
represent?
It's not that big, but yes.
Yeah, that represents a treasure chest.
Yes, you do find a treasure chest. Funny enough.
Mr. makes locks fall open basically by farting in their general direction. Might want to take a look at this.
It's tucked under a table, and it looks like a desk with a beaten leather tome on the top. But what more catches your attention than this tome, you kind of cursory glance over these things, is more the fact that there is. Oh, sorry, it's a stone table, not a wooden table. Is that there are piles of treasure on another stone table.
Sorry, piles of what?
Piles of treasure, piles of like glinting. Just it seems to be tucked. A pile of gold pieces, silver pieces. You also find 3 gold bars worth 100 gold pieces each.
Oh, Malar's the friggin' treasurer.
Yeah. Who's going to write this down?
Alright,
Don't make it me. I'm too slow.
3 gold bars worth 100 each.
Correctamundo.
A pile of coins which haven't been given a number yet.
Yep. You can count them if you would like to count
Yes.
them. You're welcome to count them.
We would like to.
I'll come back to that.
I'm going to have some.
You
Because everyone else is.
and Leo, Seth. You also find in amongst, as you're rifling through the piles of gold and silver, within the piles of gold, you also find. It looks like it's a pole, but it's 1 feet long. It's kind of got a. It looks like fine dwarven craftsmanship. It's fairly utilitarian. It looks like it's not particularly well used. It's got it's got the a sign of a maker just on one corner, just an initial, just a J.
This is a sort of small staff thing.
It's 1 feet long.
do I recognise that it's dwarven?
You
Would I recognise that?
you recognise that it's dwarvish
Sim-
script. Yes,
yeah.
the insignia is a dwarvish letter. You recognise
I don't
that.
think I speak dwarvish.
If you don't speak dwarvish, you recognise it's a dwarvish script. I think
It
you've
could
seen
be-
enough.
I
Being
mean,
in
It would be the
bureaucracy,
same script as Giant and.
No, I don't speak it.
but also because you've been in bureaucracy for a little while, dwarven is one of the most popular languages.
I
here,
recognise
so,
it. Don't speak it.
yes,
That was it.
So for the poll of Brugon, can you read this? What's written on this poll?
I mean, I assume so, because Brucon speaks dwarfish.
it's just an initial. It seems to be a maker's mark. It's just a J.
Looks like
Another passing this item, a rod, if you will, around over in his hands.
Yes.
Anything,
pole,
anything standing out about it? Oh,
Make an investigation check.
yeah.
a pole, not a rod.
I'll say that while you're
Son of a...
say that while you're counting, you can we'll say Mala can count it unless you'd like to do so, Leo.
Malar is our treasurer.
Yeah, we trust him.
Well,
I'm
going to level with you guys. The time of the 18s appears to be over. The
no.
investigation check result was 5.
5 with 5.
Even 9.
Someone has.
Could have
detect
been
magic.
a cane, perhaps,
Someone
or
still
something.
has detect magic up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to bring it
It's
up,
been less than 10 minutes since we walked into this cave.
is that concentration?
Yep.
Oh yeah, but it's fine because you're using the staff. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
actually, I should make. Hold on.
because you did take some damage.
I'm fine.
Yes, this is a missing magic from it. Funny enough. Yeah. It seems to be. This would be transmutation.
Transmutation magic. That's a magic pole you've got there.
Not the first time Brucon's heard that.
Sake.
And everyone
Was that
leaves
in
the
character?
dungeon.
Was that in character, or was that just James?
Do the
All
eyebrow
right.
dance.
I'm there like counting quietly thing and just I go.
Yep. I'll give you some inspiration. That's fair.
Really? All right.
That's
fine.
fair. Well, to be fair, Bart, I was going to give you inspiration as well if you haven't got it already, because for exceptional Malar role playing.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Get inspiration for being someone other than my character.
I mean, if only I got that into kind of inspiration, I get it every week.
You do
You
not
get
need.
enough 20s.
You do not need rerolls.
I use my inspiration to add advantage to the attack roll. What are you doing, Jack, you bastard? Anyway, moving on. Okay, so Malar does count
Accurate.
out 156 gold pieces, 360 silver pieces.
How much?
156
156 gold,
360
silver.
Cool.
3 times 100 gold bars.
And the 1 foot pole.
And he picks up the
Magical.
beaten leather tome and starts
Ooh.
looking at that as well. This. I mean, this is in Dwarvish, but it makes it's all gobbledygook. It doesn't make any sense.
Does he speak Dwarvish?
He does.
Okay.
Well, I think all of us but you do, because it's our secret code language for keeping Seth out of things.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know if Fleeting speaks Dwarvish.
Probably does now. He just prays to the god that it changes.
I do remember that, Malar Brucon.
No, he does not.
Malar Brucon and Leo can have private chats.
Mr. Brucon, being that you are of the dwarven persuasion,
Accurate.
perhaps
Last
this should
time I
be
checked, anyway.
perhaps this would be something
Does
of
speak.
interest to you. Perhaps maybe you can decipher what this is meant to be saying.
Possibly, as far as I can see, it's simply a bit of branding, but I'll happily investigate. I've decided, by the way, I'm going to play up the book.
I'm talking about this tome here.
I
I
apologize.
found.
I'm sorry, I was preoccupied by this stick thing. Very well. Well, I'll pass it over. Let's have a look. I've decided I've figured out how to differentiate Brucon and Malar's voices, which is to lean into the background a bit more, and also
Bit more RP for
I've been
Brucon.
watching The Crown a lot.
So really good.
So now, as you say, going to go hog wild on the RP.
I say,
Yeah.
I'm Brucon.
Yes, precisely. Yes.
I'm an adventurer, you know. So could you make? Okay, I'll say for this. This would be it'd be an investigation check.
No.
I do apologise, my friend, but I'll give you.
I mean, if you
Yep,
want
this
to
is
hand it over to someone who's proficient in those.
Well,
and speaks
let's
Dwarvish.
see what Brucon makes of it first, shall we?
Sure.
You never know. Gamblor may smile upon you. No!
No.
Emphatic no. Gamblor could not smile less upon Brucon in this endeavour.
Yeah. So you look over the first entry or so in this book, but it is in Dwarvish,
Yeah.
but all the letters are in the wrong order. Like it doesn't make any sense as you know, they're not forming actual words. It just seems like when you watch a child typing away on a keyboard, that's what it looks like.
Brucon sort of looks to it was Leo who was just offering, wasn't it? Brucon sort of looks at it, turns it upside down, inside out, back to front a few times, and then eventually goes, well, either it's in code or I have suddenly developed dyslexia. Either way, Mr. Leoberin, I think this might be more your sort of
We can
wheelhouse.
have a look at this. Certainly. Well, it definitely goes up this way.
It's a good start.
Mr. Leoberin.
You see, I knew he'd be good at this.
I have the faith of the ape behind you, and you get guidance.
Yes.
Because I should have done that with you. I'm sorry.
Oh, well. I
I
really doubt it would have. In fact, it definitely
one.
wouldn't have made it.
Oh,
That is a 25.
25.
that
Oh,
is a
right.
natural 20.
Natural
So
20.
you reckon?
Message received. Brucon is going to stay in his lane from now on.
You start-
Stunts are what he does.
That's fair enough. You start flicking through the tome, and yes, it seems to be written in some kind of cipher. You recognise there's a pattern to the way that these letters are falling. and it seems, this is going to take some time to decode. But what you do find is the very last entry, which says...
Classic Giza cipher.
The very last entry, right at the back of the tome, is before the blank pages, is written in common, and it says, "Cursed. I'm so cursed. Hunger, the hunger."
Well, that was the last bit's not good. It says, "Cursed. I'm so cursed. The hunger, the hunger."
Maybe.
Anyone here able to determine the existence or otherwise of curses?
Is there such a thing as... So we've seen werewolves, people turn into wolves. Can people turn into frog things that are hungry and swallow stuff?
Don't know. If one of us could figure out what the hell that thing was, that might help determine that fact, because we never did. So another step. Should we have another stab? Should we see if we can identify the corpse?
When I was in...
You can do. You can make an nature check.
When I was in the library looking up monsters and stuff, this would have been something that I looked up.
Unlikely, but you can make a check.
I wouldn't have looked from a tool sort of thing, but...
You can make a check, because it might be something you maybe came across by accident.
18. Is it possible that Brucon has dissected one of these at some point, in possibly at secondary school?
We'll, possibly.
Yeah, I've already made a roll on this guy.
12.
But what am I checking?
Nature.
12.
12, a solid 12. All right. Okay, so it's not something you've come across in your time. So like the monsters you've read about.
Specific to...
This wouldn't have been something that would have caught your attention.
Yeah.
Because it's a frickin' frog. It's not anything that would interest Seth necessarily. No. Brucon, to be honest, the thing that you get from this is again, it's just the stuff that you would have heard in sort of stories when you were a child back in Rundar with your family, like to try and get you to go to bed and stop partying all night. Even as a child, you were up late with the adults wanting to join in with the festivities, and they would tell you that something called the Banderhob was going to get you.
Banderhob. Okay.
Banderhob.
I've just written down the impromptu name we gave for it as well.
Leobrin, when you look up from having a look at this tome,
I'm pretty sure Brucon doesn't.
you look up. The first thing your eyes see as you kind of look up is the corpse of this
Banderhop.
Bander, like Bandersnatch.
Yeah, but hop.
H-O-B-B.
But hob.
Instead of snatching, it hops.
Yeah,
No,
H-O-B-B.
Yeah, like the hobs, like a hob.
Oh,
Like the hobs and what's the brown?
ob.
Anyway,
oh, no, sorry.
and you see it's more still open with like still more bile that's just been eking out of this thing, and then finally something glints which catches your eye. A glass orb falls out of its mouth, sort of about yay big.
And that's a thing that has been mentioned by lady and my dream. I will head over and collect this orby orb.
It catches your attention straight away. There's a strong, like you even see from distance, a strong magical aura around this. Although the school, you're getting divination very much. There seems to be more to it than that, but you can't decipher it at this time. It's not clear what school of magic the rest of it is, but there's definitely divination magic in this orb.
This is remember the old lady reading fortunes?
Yes.
She said I was going to find this.
Well,
and I found it.
Good to know you got your money's worth then,
find
isn't
an
it?
orb in a frog.
I mean, she didn't do the frog bit. She said I should definitely find this. And then it may have popped up in a dream.
Did she say what it is?
No, just get the crystal orb. It'd be good.
It's in a frog person.
I mean, it's not anymore.
I can't imagine how good. Which town was she in?
That was...
Heroes Landing?
Hilberg?
No, Hilberg. Heroes Landing.
That's just good. How many of the towns we've been to have had
Heroes
beginning with
Landing.
H?
Heroes Landing.
We're in H-Land.
It was the lady. It was the old lady behind the bar.
Yeah.
The mother of the owner.
Heroes Landing.
We're heading there. We can ask her if she's still in town.
Yes.
Get another reading.
Yep.
Oh shit! She's a real fortune teller. I'll be damned. Never met a real one.
Yeah. Ed, excuse me a moment, and Liebman's going to run off the corridor out that way to head back to the water and rinse the orb off and rinse his hand off and just.
I think he just stole the loot.
Rinse.
Is the
Malar has all the
Has the
gold.
barrel got stuff in it?
So that's just more debris. It was just
The-
a rat of stuff.
The treasure chest.
Yes.
That was all the stuff on the table, wasn't it? So,
Yep.
So is there anything else we need to find?
No, that's everything you
Okay.
can find.
So we've got the 3 gold bars, the orb, the pole, gold and silver.
Yep.
Cool. Did you send any? You didn't send anything else magical in the room, did you? 'Cause you've got a 30-foot radius, so you can get
Nothing
everything.
else.
Nothing else in the room. We've got the magic pole, not rod, pole.
A likely story.
I know there is a magical pole, which I'm fairly
I
certain.
know, but I want it to be the magical rod.
I know, but it's probably the magical pole.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
Cool.
Maybe it's the baton. The magical baton.
If there's nothing else left, should we take the boy and head back to his parents?
Liebman returns to the room
Yeah.
with what?
Should we head back? If there's nothing else that we can see in this room, should we head back to the boy's parents?
Yeah,
Child?
please take me back.
I think the child
Yeah.
agrees.
Oh,
we-
but it's nice to meet you all. I'm Pip.
Hello.
Yes,
Pip.
we know. We've met your parents actually. We're taking you back to them now. They're
Hunman and Juju.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah.
Yeah, Mum and Dad. Yeah.
Yes, they're well. Or
That's
they're well, or they were the last time we saw them. And,
Awkward question.
Yeah.
No one else in the monster, is there?
I didn't
Oh,
we
anyone
were
else?
sharing.
I couldn't
we
see
were rooming with
anything. I
anybody.
just felt all the goo and the.
Just making sure we weren't leaving another child. There.
Look,
make a
sparkles.
persuasion check.
No, can I make it with disadvantage? Because I am just going there.
I mean, between the two of you, because he's helping you,
I'm
that
gonna
counts.
make-
That
I'm
counts
gonna
as
make
the
sparkles.
disadvantage.
Entertaining child sparkles.
Rolled a 9. Persuasion, that's fleeting.
So fleeting would be pretty good.
15.
And he just like wipes tears from his face and goes, "You don't need to patronise me." Okay.
But we like it
But
anyway.
but I appreciate the sparkle and things and.
Why don't you go with Mr. Fleeting as we leave? Take Mr. Fleeting's hand.
And she looks at the tiefling with his horns and the turquoise skin
Go
tone,
follow the demon man.
and he just reaches out his hand, and Mala goes, "Oh, I think maybe the child should come with me."
I'm picturing him being like too tall, like towering over him. It's like, "Come on, child, I'll protect you."
Yeah, the guy with horns out of his face instead.
Yes, that sounds. Anyway,
Tusks.
so she
Think of
he takes Malar's hand, and then Fleeting takes the other hand, and between the two of them.
And they're too tall, so now he's just hanging in
Yeah,
the
he's
air.
just hanging there.
Oh yeah.
No
He's
walking-
having a lovely
No
time.
walking for you,
They
child.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Yeah.
But,
I have discovered from a harsh experience that it is possible to walk without dangling a child between two very tall people, but it's not very comfortable with the tall people.
Dang it, Joe. Cool, should we start to make our way out? We've got everything.
Yes.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Great. So gather together with your stuff.
The Vandal, does he have like teeth and stuff like that?
Has teeth, yeah. Rows of teeth.
Do they look distinctive to like different, or could it be from any
They're
any
similar
creature?
to like shark teeth.
I was going to thought before maybe if they've had problems we could tell people, bring back some proof that we killed one. But nah.
You could
I
take
mean,
something as a trophy, I suppose, if you
Eyes
wanted
are
to.
quite iconic.
Or its tongue.
I've put a lot of squishy I've run out of clothes to wrap stuff in. I'm slowly stripping and losing clothes to body parts.
This thing's stomach juices are quite potently acidic, yeah, or poisonous.
The troglodytes are.
The troglodytes are. There was a kind of poison thing going on.
There was poisoning with the troglodytes. There was necrotic and kind of acidic going with the Banderhog. Oh,
Based on
Lindy
Brucon's-
the Panther has just started following. Thank you very much for following.
Yay.
Thanks, Lindy.
Thank you, Lindy. Brucon's based on Brucon's brewing knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
You know how like there's a thing. Sometimes you'll brew something with a very mild amount of like central nervous system suppressant
Mm-hmm.
and so on. And does Brucon think there's possibly some mileage in the poisonous, like a really diluted version of the poison that these things are packing?
Make it a history check.
You trying to make poison?
I'm trying to see if it's possible to come up with some kind of exotic new brew, like think like absinthe, right? I'm kind of aiming for some kind of magical hallucinatory spirit.
You can double your if you're proficient. You can double your proficiency bonus.
I'm not proficient in history.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. No, yes, I am. In fact, that is a 21.
21, nice. Okay, so you reckon that actually the bile and so on actually could be probably given the way that the child kind of looked when it came out and the other things, they seem to be contained well. It would probably work well for pickling or otherwise trying to
cool. So
store stuff so it lasts longer.
There's some kind of potential application for this stuff.
It's kind of like brine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's that. As long as there's a practical application, that's really all I need to know. Brucon pulls out a water skin and grabs a bit of the sort of the bilious juices.
Kind of skip. I would say, yeah, you can mostly you can get enough to maybe a third of the way fill your water skin with some of this stuff. But you've got some on you.
This stuff's pretty potent.
You've got bound to hob bile.
Bound to hob bile.
Rolls off the tongue nicely.
We've got our shit.
Did we want the big creepy eye?
I'm running out of containers. I've already used 2 cloaks on heads.
Fair enough.
And I don't want an eye in my bag with my stuff.
Okay. Cool. Let's leave all the gross stuff then.
I agree, Mr. Leobrin. Maybe we should get back to the surface.
Rats, heal.
And the rats, come to you and stop.
Brucon's still got fallen stardust.
I'm just imagining you to command the rats like, go and collect some eyes for us, and all the rats coming back with different eyes across the ground.
Oh no!
I was tempted to use Mage Hand to pull the eye out, but that's not very Leobrin, so no one wanted the eye, so we're not doing that.
Can we make our way up?
You can make your way back through, and you notice on your way out the watermill and the building attached to it seems to be in fairly good nick. The door is slightly ajar, and it's the one room you haven't been in. Mala kind of gestured like, before we go, maybe we could check out what's inside here. I mean,
Sure.
Maybe we should be cautious in case there's anything on the other side.
I'll ready the crossbow, stand a little bit behind.
Is the door wood?
Yes.
Can I sense any magic from behind the door?
You can't sense any magic behind the door, no.
In that case,
you can hear, but you can hear, even with your passive perception, you can hear that there's something rotating still, and I think it's probably the water wheel that's, part of that inside. Still going.
Loxodon's first and ready the crossbow.
I'm gonna bop resistance on Malar.
He just kind of gives you evils a second, because.
Look, I've literally got his back. I've literally got the crossbow.
Mr. Surfer.
At his back.
If anything comes out.
Open the door.
All right, and he just guards you for a minute quizzically because he doesn't entirely trust you, and then opens the door. Anyway, what you can as he opens the door, what you can see inside is the remains of what was once a dwarven metal workshop. There's some moulds in place. There's a forge which seems long since out of use, and the water wheel. It seems it once powered a tall trip hammer which extends all the way up to the ceiling, about 8 or so feet up. It seems to have been dislodged from its housing. The hammer and the spinning cog that would be attached to the wheel has been smashed, but the log itself, as part of the water wheel, that's the bit that's still turning. Rest of it seems to be not in such good condition, but you're welcome to make an investigation check and see if you can find anything else inside.
Malar's in there, isn't he?
Yep.
So, does anyone have Malar's investigation?
I can pull it up.
Want to roll for him?
Sure.
I'll investigate stuff.
His
Got
investigation is
behind
+1. He's not trained.
Dirty.
But the rest of you are welcome to go in as well if you
You
want
want
to.
to say I'll roll for Malar. 16.
16.
Okay, well, Brucon sneaks in there first before
There's
the
some
road.
ley line shit going on tonight. Like the forces of probability have gone very fucking.
If we both got 18,
Should I give it a try, see what happens?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, breaking the new dice.
he rolled a 16.
I rolled a 16, but that is 20.
Okay, so as the two of you sort of are looking around, examining the equipment and the molds and the forge and so on, the Oberon, you go to a workbench on
Heroes
one
on my
side,
shoulder and go,
and you pick up quite a tatty-looking piece of parchment. It looks like it's it's been aged with time, a bit I say moth-eaten, you know what I
put
mean.
in the oven.
It's not in the best condition, but actually
A
it
jacket
seems
potato that gets left in the Arga for like
picking
3
it up.
weeks.
It seems to be.
Comes out as a lump of coal.
It seems to be plans to a blueprint of some kind for making some kind of armor. You're not sure exactly what. Is anyone here proficient with smith's tools or any other tools that would be helpful?
I reckon.
I mean, I personally think brewer's tools are always helpful, but
Yeah.
probably not for this particular purpose.
Mal or fleeting.
I'm not
'cause
sure if I can check Fleeting's ones. Can you check on his
Sure.
description or notes? 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
think I
yeah,
can
I'll
check
look.
them. It's only his
He
description
doesn't have
and
any
his
tools.
notes.
No tools for fleeting.
Cool.
And Malar, no tools either.
I don't. I've got
Go team.
cartography.
In which case, it's just you won't be able to get the benefit of the tools, the Oberon, so you can make just a general intelligence check.
Okie dokie. Just intelligence, not investigation or.
Just intelligence for this one.
Tool binds. That's a 10.
10.
Sorry, gang. Rubbish roll.
It's some kind of. It seems to be some quite expensive looking armor, but the knowledge of smithing is beyond you. It's not really something that you or indeed most of Lorandlas would have had much knowledge about.
I think it's a dwarf
at least in
thing,
your social
maybe?
crimes.
Can we take the blueprints anyways?
Of course you can.
We can take blueprints.
Yeah.
It's just tools that get left, isn't it?
I've heard adventurers. The plan is to loot everything, leave nothing behind.
I'm cool.
Yes, that seems eminently sensible to me.
Perhaps there's a smith or someone in Hilburg or something that we can might know a bit more about this.
We met the one that did our silver work on our swords.
Yes.
We can always ask them.
Go check with them.
They were
God, yeah.
military.
They seemed relatively
There was that.
amenable to our demands.
Yeah,
it's
this was
commander.
relatively
Right
as
to them.
unbelievably, if I remember correctly, because we had them. That was the person who we commissioned to make the pimpin' hat.
No, that's a different shop.
Different shop.
Wasn't it?
No, that was
The
the
hat was a.
Oh, but
fabric.
no, but
because
the
we
rest of you don't know about the hat. Only Fleeting did the hat thing.
The hat thing was a fabric shop rather than an armor
We
shop.
went to the
Yeah.
to the barracks.
Okay.
And we
It-
spoke to the bard.
That's where you got your bitchin' cloak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lindy
But
found
the
that
armor-
back with
the
dinner.
armor shop was
Good to know.
for-
Thank you.
Cool. Can we start to make a way out?
Of course you can. Yeah, so it takes some time as you guys. You have the rope still, so you can. Some of you will send the rope. Malar tries to climb out, and it takes a little while, but eventually you guys will get out. But this it seems to be in this time when you have a moment to reflect as you start climbing out, and kind of this experience in the mine. Freeing a potential captive, it echoes what kind of you feel is going to happen. It's a premonition almost of what you think you're going to face when you're trying to save your ally and friend Neris from wherever she may be, and that thought kind of sticks with you all as you climb out. That this is the starter. The main course is on its way.
Start doing exercises involving frogs.
Hopefully, the sooner you get to it, the better.
It's
But
the
you've got to-
eye of the frog man.
But it's
No,
you're
we
going to
left
have
that behind.
And that is of course the other doubts that are crossing your mind is whether this doppelganger you have prisoner, how cooperative will they be? Are they completely honest? I mean, they were dodging a lot of questions. These doubts just start to seep into your minds as you start ascending
This
out of the
foreshadowing
mine.
starts to.
The foreshadowing just overtakes you. And then you snap out of it when you'll get back up onto the road, and immediately the halfling couple just rush up and, oh my god, my baby!
Before
Oh,
that,
thank you!
The most important thing, I've been
Yes?
waiting for this for 3 weeks.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is my horse still there?
The horse is still there.
Oh, thank God.
It
The
has-
horse was down the route. Yeah,
Horsey,
it's
that's
there.
okay.
It has staff.
It's okay,
death.
Horsey. I'll put the bow on the horse.
Sure.
For the last, like,
So
50
the
foot
parents
back.
run up to the horse and
No, he's with us now.
oh my God, oh Pip, where are you at? You hiding away from us? Like, you do something so stupid. And you can see the emotion, the raw emotion, the tears flooding from their
Parents
faces.
with
They're
child,
so
blame
happy,
child.
so happy to get him back. Overcome with emotion, just babbling nonsense, and then Pip starts crying, and they embrace, and
Yes, he was taken by a 8-foot frogman thing.
oh my God, well, I didn't see that when we were out here. I only saw those reptile things.
They must have been distracting so that he could take him.
My God. Whoa, that's thank you so much for getting him back. Honestly, you're welcome, as I said, in our shop back in Heroes Landing anytime. Thank you.
Well, are you travelling that way now?
Well, I mean, we were going to continue our walk, but considering everything that's happened, I think that's enough excitement for one day. Yeah, we'll probably
That's a
be walking that way
really
now.
horrible drawing, that is.
The bandit hob.
Are they on?
Yeah.
Are they on
Great.
horseback?
I love it.
No, they were walking.
Do we have space in our carriage for them?
Your carriages are full, unfortunately.
Can't really often lift, can we? How far is it back to town?
Oh, it's only it's a few hours. You know, it's a long old walk. Well, a couple of hours. We're not too far.
Should we go at a walking pace for them and travel with them to keep them safe?
Should get home before dark, though.
Yeah,
Should or will?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we will. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
good.
just, you know, it's phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll add about like an hour or something to our journey.
Yes, we get
but
delayed again, of course.
Should we travel with them? Because there's
Well, it would
frog
be
people in the roof.
it would be something of a waste to have rescued them and then immediately abandon them to the pedals of the wild.
So, Pip, do you want to stay on the horse for the travel back home?
Yeah, I like the horse.
So I'll leave him on the horse. I'll start walking.
Don't get attached.
That's my horse. I mean, no, it's fine, kid.
And see, the kid seems very happy. Kind of in contrast, walking alongside it, kind of leading the horses, a fleeting look, it seems somewhat glum at this time, and just keeps looking up at the sky.
You okay, fleeting?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Quite acrophobia.
Did you want to ride the horse?
I mean, I did want to ride
Oh,
the
there
horse,
is that,
but
yeah.
it's fine.
Nighttime.
How about
Is it not?
you ride him next time? You can
Minute.
give him a carrot when we get to the town, and you can ride him tomorrow.
We don't know about that.
Okay, that
The
sounds good.
characters of the party don't know about that, or do they? Do we?
Know about what?
Fleeting being a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
fought
know.
him.
Yeah. And he just starts scratching his head a little bit, like around the ears.
That's why we
Looking
wanted
a
to
bit
get to next town before
agitated.
dark.
Is there a moon out?
No, it's not dark yet, but it seems he's concerned.
Let's get to town. Let's go. Let's
That's
go.
why
Let's,
when they
quickly.
said we'll get to town before dark, I was
Aye.
like, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Cool. So
Um,
yeah, we'll carry on to town then.
So you start heading towards.
Can I get that in writing, if you please?
So you start heading towards Heroes Landing with your friends in tow. Obviously, the two nobles with their two carriages are still alongside you, and pleased to see that you're back in one piece. And you continue on towards the town, and you arrive there without incident. Pull up outside the
favourite
weary
phrase.
traveller.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
And yeah, you're going to be
You live a dull,
spending
uneventful life.
the evening at the weary traveller.
What time is it?
So it's roughly about 6 p.m. now.
I think I forget. Is this the dilapidated, horrible place?
No.
Semi
No, this is the
okay?
nice one.
Okay. Are there guards at the entrance and
Yeah,
stuff like
this
that?
guy's the entrance. Yeah, the town.
Alright, we're travelling back into town. We wonder if there's a church or anything like that in town.
Yeah, there's a temple. Yeah, of course. To the 8, of course.
Could you direct us, please?
Sure. Yeah. It's just by the coast. Just across the square from the weary traveller. Not far.
Thank you very kindly.
Right.
Should we head to the church for our free friends
Yes.
to try and solve
Yes.
their problems?
Yes. Church them up and seal them up and cuff them up.
All right. So yes, your 3 charges in tow. You start heading towards the to the town square and then onto the temple from there.
We'll say goodbye to the couple going.
Oh
to
yes,
the
they
shops,
wave you off and thank you again. Like mates rates discount whenever you come by.
Very,
General store.
very generous. Bye, Pip.
Bye, bye, horsey. And they start heading on their way. No, the horse has a long face.
It's when the horse says something, then we worry. It's like double horse.
As you start making your way towards the temple with your charges, Seth, you hear a voice in your head that only you can hear. Just chuckling, that also recognizable chuckle at this time. You're going to have to do something about him, Seth. Perhaps I can be of assistance to save your friend.
I was going to say that.
Just like last time.
Mr. Helpful.
Can I slowly move either faster or slower away from the party so that they can't hear me speak?
Sure.
Gonna say, how can you save him?
I have my ways, Seth. You just need to bring him and yourself back to the shrine, to the altar. I will remove what afflicts him and yourself, and in exchange I ask for only a contract, if you like, to be drawn between us, that you may be my servant of some variety.
What would you remove from me?
An affliction that you have been rendered with ever since we first encountered each other.
We don't hear the voice.
I don't know what if I don't have an affliction?
Well,
if I can
remember,
think of one thing that's happened.
You like to be hidden, don't you, Seth?
Oh, that's fucking ring. That part I don't say out loud. So, that part I say out loud. So I'm whispering.
You just shout, "Oh, that fucking ring!
Goddamn ring!"
What? Has it gone off again?
No, just.
No, I just remembered it
aberrant
exists.
thought.
Aberrant thought. Mind flare has taken up there. Think about it.
Pippa, boiling or a girling?
Boiling.
I'm sure I heard someone say she at one point as well.
Return to fling.
Look at fleeting. Look at my ring.
Son of a bitch.
We'll see.
I have all the time in the world, Seth. But do you? And does your friend? And then he stops. Voice disappears. And I think we will call tonight to an end there. I think it's a nice point to stop. So it's a nice end, a nice rounding off of our live adventures.
Heroes Landing's where we've gone to, yes?
Yep, you're in Heroes Landing now, so you're over the first leg of your journey back to Hilberg. And yeah, you've got there, you've managed to save the child. But obviously there's more to come next week, and of course the pressing issue of dealing with your friend Neris and trying to find her. So hopefully get back on the trail of that next time. We'll obviously, first thing we'll pick up is with the temple, see how you guys do with trying to sort something out for your lycanthropic captives. And yeah, we'll pick it up here.
Critical path analysis for all of the problems we have right now is going to get interesting.
Yeah, like one at a time, taking things off the list. So anyway, join us on Monday for the next stream. I will keep you posted on social media how we're doing with that, because there may be a case we might have to take a week off just as we are putting everything in place for doing things over webcams and so on.
That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, because I will be otherwise engaged. So
fair enough.
So
I'll keep you guys up to date on that. I will have I should have another campaign diary on Friday here on the channel, so I can tell you a bit more about that, as well as other stuff that we talked about, other lore things that have happened today, monsters, mechanics, and other DM screen behind the DM screen. Tidbits for you. Come join me for that. That's Friday, 5 PM here on the channel. Guys, thank you so much for coming.
See you later.
See you on the other side, and stay safe, everyone.
Goodbye.